This
Boogly
is how
boogly.
we do. This is how we do.
This is how we do. This is how we do the D&D.
This is how I call this one fish fresh on land.
Ooh, I like that one. Really feel like a TikTok.
I feel like there's something not right
No,
about it,
there's
about the
yeah,
visual.
it's like the intro dance. It just doesn't feel quite.
I mean,
No,
the shoulder thing I'm more on board with.
I call this one fish no longer fresh on land.
Oh, I called that one Darcy after work.
It's weird how they look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I think you and I have different views on after work. That play on words there.
Blah. Blah.
I'm
Hey,
gonna laugh at
you
the
all
fish.
wanna play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Is that what you're selling in your trench coat today? Dungeons and Dragons?
Okay,
I
I
mean,
kind of want Josie to have a trench coat.
If you look, I
Then to
do
open up
have
and
a
there's
code.
dice.
I
You
have
want to
code,
buy a bard?
But if you go now for only $9.99 a month, you too can make a face like this.
Whoa!
Yes, we are selling real life emotes here. You too can buy your own. Okay, never mind.
Look, and then
Yep.
the emotes will be wonderfully modeled by our beautiful model, Wetterstorb. Wetterstorb, give me happy.
True.
All right, now give me sad. Now give me confused.
Now give me uwu. That was pretty cute, actually. That was pretty cute.
Now
No,
give
that's
me
pretty
abject
good, that's
horror.
pretty good.
He's got it. I think he's got the range.
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
Give
Hold
me-
on, hold
Give me fish fresh on land. That is
That's
that
fish-
is not a fresh fish.
That's not a fresh
I,
fish.
Yeah. All right. Orb, you
Okay.
failed it.
on. Hey! No, he brought it back. He brought it back. He thought. He was keeping him guessing.
Yeah. No, he people. I may be sitting in a dark room, and that is by choice, because we are going to be having Dungeons and Dragons.
Dun dun
Sometimes-
dun.
Sometimes it's dark in those dungeons.
Sometimes it's
I
dark
don't
in
know.
those dragons.
The segue got completely lost. I did not prepare for this. Someone get me out of here with the eject button. Emergency.
Hey, Josie,
I've-
tell us who's playing today.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. I am the dungeon mistress, Josie Poser. I run this game, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure everyone's having a good time. Not a happy time, but a good time. And I am joined by the usual crew of friends. We've got Roju from Participation Award,
Hi.
playing Gerald the Wizard, the human warlock sorcerer. We've got Wetterstorb playing Arthur Orblet III, the elven ranger rogue. We've got AussieDevFro playing Rudy, Magic Hands McGee, the reborn cleric. And we've got, last but definitely not least, Cuddly Raptor playing Nana Melivora, the gnome druid. Oh shit, people! We're back. We're back at it. Do you know we are only one session away from 120? That's
Wow.
completely redonkulous.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Nobody, least of me, expected this campaign to go this far. That is the truth. That is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
But
But speaking of butts, we've had a good long run. I've had a really great time, and even though I'm using these words that are coming out of my mouth. This is not the end of the campaign. Sorry. I don't know why I made it sound like it. but
Jalira
this is
came to
just like,
Ebonspire in our sleep and just.
yeah. Turns out the queen was Jalira all along. You
Oh,
found
I
out.
knew it.
We never did the insight check.
You,
I mean,
you,
we haven't
you
seen
should have
them in the same
moonbeamed
room
more
at the same
people.
time, so
That should be Nana's opening line instead of "Hi, I'm Nana Melavora. You can call me Nana." Just go Moonbeam.
I'm insight
Moonbeam.
check.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam.
vaporizing peasants.
What if you just have the moonbeam kind of like hovering just around you at all times, and then if you're a little
Yeah.
sus of someone, you just tilt it just a little bit to like shine a little
Like
bit on
I
the
actually
hand.
shine it up to the sky, and then if I'm like, I don't know, it's
Yeah,
Like a
that is
spotlight.
also why there's a bunch of birds constantly falling around Nana because they fly into the moonbeam and just crash.
Until the one day
Oh.
one shapeshifts into Jalira as it crashes to the ground. You're like, I knew it!
I knew it! Those seagulls were up to something.
Yeah, no. One day, Feminist just slams into the ground.
No.
But people, come on, but people.
Yes,
I
Bud?
am a little bit tired because we here in Europe land had daylight savings shift like a couple of hours ago. So for us, it is technically the same time, but looking at the clock, it's an hour earlier and it feels wrong. But we're gonna get into this, and we're gonna start off with a little recap.
Ooh,
Wow.
Because
Trait.
last time on Dramonia, you ran into a figure that only one of you really recognized from before. You saw when you came out of the Skysore Emporium, there was a stage set up just outside in the Pavilion of Trades, and people were gathering around watching this impromptu magical show. Gerald, you recognized the ringmaster of the Crosstop Circus herself, Nera, was doing an act as two twin tieflings stood on either side of her, giving out tickets and doing what looks like interpretive dancing, just keeping people entertained. You also ran into another familiar figure, as among the crowd you found no one other than Ator Nar, the Archfey of Humility. However, this time not here for you. Apparently, an old friend of Neira's was just coming to see the show. After the show ended, Neira approached you. She explained that she was an impatient woman. She had lots to do. And since you didn't show up on her doorstep upon her message to the group, she decided to take herself to you instead. You ended up having yet another graveyard picnic where some conversations were had. You learned some information about Jalira. Naira also explained that her children may be of some aid to you in the battles to come, especially her mama's boy Weiss, who you met before. Seems very, very suave with portals and could probably get you around quite quickly if needed. Some conversations were also had about other things. You learned that she was apparently very old. Even though you yourselves don't really know a lot about vampires, it was clear that she was more than she let on. Nana picked up that there seemed to be, every now and then, Nara would have a slip of the tongue, but Nana couldn't quite recall what was said. Turns out that she was simply just a very fast talker and sometimes stumbled over her words, and she had learned how to undo said stumble and Weiss ensured that there was nothing to worry about. You were then given tickets to tonight's festival at the circus. She told you some stories about you that have been spread throughout the Western Shard, and also that they had actually, as part of their program at the circus, a reenactment of Das Goose fighting a dragon.
I forgot about that.
And you were offered to come visit the circus this evening. You were handed tickets, and you were directed to simply, when the tickets gave you a sign, to head out into the Pavilion of Trades. After that, you headed back to the guild hall, and after some small conversations, Ergothoa crept into Rudy's presence. I believe this was also part, as you were casting legend lore and learning the true story of Martin, the reanimator. And it seems that among the 3 lieutenants of Jalira, he was the only one truly nefarious. As you had learned the truth about Marnie the Innocent and Marvin the Master of Mycelium. Now all wishes unlocked in the Ring of 3 Wishes. One used, however, Ergothoa threatened Rudy. Said that she would reclaim all gifts she had given if Rudy did not push to have the veil keeping the gods away removed. At the same time, Gerald was working in his office trying to, he was repairing the scrying glass, and with a mending spell got it working again. And as you were working through your books as well, copying down, looking through the spell book of Golast Yok, the ex-headmaster of the College Arcana, Nephis entered your study. In his own somewhat cryptic means, he would offer something in return, but he wanted one of the wishes from the ring, claiming that they were far greater than any wish he had previously witnessed. He himself unable to say what was different about it, but he wanted one. And he said that he would give almost anything in return. Now, it is evening within the guild hall of the Midnight Suns Guild of Volunteers, when I'm just clicking, I'm fucking up everything. Hold on.
No, you're wonderful.
I clicked the wrong button in a bunch of stuff.
Ah, those pesky buttons. They do that, don't they?
Pesky buttons.
Pesky buttons.
As the clock passes 6, you all realize eventually, one at a time, that your tickets are giving off a faint chiming sound, and this little, almost sparkling dust is coming off it as it vibrates softly.
Doom, 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 doom.
More like little wind chimes, like a cling-a-cling.
I was just imagining like that that those chimes you get in theaters is like when it's time to go into the theater. It's like boom, boom, boom. Please make your way to the theater now. It's like take your seats.
Yeah. So you all realize this during your own various activities. You make your way out into the Pavilion of Trades, where you see a similar stage as you had seen just earlier the same day. This time, however, where the small little what's the word? I've forgotten words. It's too early in the morning. On the stage, instead of this little curtain that hangs, you see almost like a walkway, as if you would step onto this stage and simply walk onto a muddy beaten path in front of a large circus tent. You can see people within moving into the opening of this tent, and standing by the stairs up on this stage, you see dressed in what might be the most extravagant Pierrot costume ever. Weiss, with a full face of makeup. He has got this really, really commedia dell'arte outfit on him. It is extravagant, it is colorful, and he's greeting people with a large smile and says, "Tickets! Tickets, everyone, tickets! Hand me your tickets and walk on through. The show tonight will be quite extravagant, I promise you all." And as people walk up, he tear their tickets and they simply walk onto the stage and onto this muddy path. And people walk through. You see some are hesitant, like doing the thing. They're holding their hands out, seeing if they're gonna pass through something. But there's no membrane, no shimmer. It's just like they take a step and they're on this path. There's a light rain happening on the other side of this portal. But the moods are high. You see colorful torches burning, seemingly unaffected by this rain and the wind, just lighting up, and they're shifting colors every now and then as people are moving through. You make it up. You get a large smile from Weiss, who then says, "Tickets." You hand over your tickets. He tears them and hands you the stub back. You walk through the portal. And you find yourself instantly in a different climate. The humidity races. Rain is coming down. It's faint but noticeable. And you walk on this muddy cobblestone path down into the Crosstop Circus. This massive tent that has been reinforced and expanded over the centuries that it's been placed here. Looks undamaged, though. Like there's no signs of repairs having been done. It's in pristine condition. Not a single speck of dirt on the outside. And as you step in, it becomes comfortably warm. You hear a murmur of voices. You can smell snacks. You can smell buttered popped corn, crisp pieces of pork crackling. You smell the sweet, sugary syrup drinks being handed out. There's also the smell of teas and coffee, warm juice drinks being handed out to people. It seems this evening snacks are included. To a degree, of course. There's a big sign that says there's only one drink and one snack per person. But you are given any seat you want as you enter this large circus. And from where you stand, it seems impossible, but the bleachers are hovering in the air with just steps leading up to them. And they go further up than you would have anticipated, almost to the point where it looks like there's balconies up top. Like there are seats up all along the wall and then along the ceiling as well. This massive, huge, maybe 100-foot across, large ring of sand, hay, and wood chips on the ground, where you see a couple of people just preparing for the various events. You also hear a small, what seems to be like a 20-person orchestra are tuning their instruments, getting ready. You see up near the ceiling, you see people in these tight, colorful costumes with the little sheer additions to their outfits are getting ready. There seems to be some form of trapeze or tightrope being prepared. You sit down. It takes a while. You get your various snacks and drinks before the light. You didn't realize you don't actually see a light source. But the light dies down suddenly after a couple of flashes. Dies down. Stepping up on to the stage, you see the ringmaster herself, Naira, as she takes a step out into the center of the ring. She takes a couple steps up into the air. What might seem like an invisible little ladder or step stool. And as she speaks, her voice reaches everyone. It sounds like she's talking to you personally, just like in a near conversation, her voice permeating the entire tent. She speaks in a soft voice, greeting everyone, mentioning to the locals that they and the travelers that there are visitors from far away, from the Ebon Spire with them tonight, and that it was going to be a special occasion this evening. And as she says that, the light, this invisible sourceless light beam, goes from her and up into the ceiling. Her voice carries through as she said, "I am your ringmaster, Naira, and today I bid you, do not be afraid. What you see is indeed an act, though the danger is very real. These are trained professionals. Do not try this at home, children or adults. But do enjoy." And you see these beautiful, slender figures dressed. They have their faces look almost completely smooth without features besides these black eyes peering through. Then you realize that those skin-tight costumes aren't actually costumes. It seems to be their skin, and you see these little strands, like little soft fish fins billowing in the air as they bow to the crowd, and you see one of them grabs the air. The trapezes are gone. And what follows is several minutes of gasping from the audience as these two figures do a full trapeze act on invisible trapeze. As they're swinging through the air and jumping, every jump people gasp. They hold their breath, they ooh and the awe and the applause. After that, it seems like they jump off the trapeze and they land in mid-air. You can see from the bounds, the tightrope too is invisible. As they start doing this gymnastics routine, one of them walking on their hands, the other one doing a handstand on their feet as they balance across this tightrope. Eventually, the light dies down as they jump off. They walk almost effortless across this tightrope to either side. They give a bow, and the light comes back down. I hadn't realized while your attention was completely locked up there. You see now a very classic, a large circular platform has been put, and there is what looks like a ring set up. On the other side of the ring is a small tub of water, as you see a lion walks in. A full-size lion, large, beautiful, a almost fire-red mane as it walks up, proud. And then you see the lion eyes the tub of water. In an almost human fashion, the lion seems to emote anxiousness. As you see this over-emotive face, the lion walks up carefully onto the stool, and it looks like it takes a deep breath. It's preparing itself. It's mustering all the energy it can. It backs up on the platform. It goes low. It wiggles its butt, and it looks like it's just about to go for the jump when the ring suddenly bursts into flames. And the lion turns around, stands up on both legs, and looks like it's screaming at someone behind. Its paws on its hips. As it then looks over to the burning ring, it looks at the audience with pleading eyes, puts its paws together and seems to beg the audience for something. The children are laughing as the lion suddenly goes. It looks through the ring, carefully reaches a paw through the ring, and it goes. And then suddenly the lion leaps through the ring. And as it goes through, it turns into a tiny little kitty cat and lands in the puddle. This tiny, tiny, almost bucket of water. And it comes out, and it looks like the skinniest little cat you've ever seen before it shakes it all off. And it grows into a large lion again, and it stands up on its hind legs, and it bows, and it bows, and it goes to leave. It's dripping wet. When it seems to again emote to someone off the stage, and it points at the burning ring again, and then you see it look defeated as it walks up. It seems to do something, and the ring grows even smaller. And again, it steps up, mustering what bravery it can as it faces this burning ring. Before it runs off the platform, grabs the bucket, and douses the ring, and then jumps through it, bows, before it grabs the bucket and the ring and walks off the stage on its hind legs.
Oh my god.
There was one smart
Nice,
lion.
nice.
Or someone
You
wild
ain't
shaped.
lying.
Seemingly in a different outfit, you still recognize Weiss. This time, however, dressed in a much more extravagant outfit, in oranges and blues. Steps in, doesn't say anything, just does a gesture with his hand, and you see a little hole open up into the air as he pulls out of this hole a rabbit. Shows the crowd. And then he takes a rabbit in his other hand, he drops it. It looks like it's going to fall to the ground, but another hole appears, and the rabbit is then flung through the first hole into his face. And he starts doing a comedy show where he's acting as if he can't quite get control over these holes that keep sending things through. And eventually, he's just chasing a rabbit that's bounding through portals through the entire set stage. By the end of it, he simply starts walking up, and it looks like he grabs a thread and a needle, and he's like sewing up holes one after another, folding them and putting them in his pockets, as his bunny is still just like pounding around. Eventually, he manages to catch it, but it looks like he's about to fall into a hole himself, and he's disappearing into it. And he's wiggling, only his legs are kicking out of one of these holes, his entire upper body gone, before he stops. And his hand come out of the hole, and it does a little finger wiggle, as if he had an idea. Another hole opens next to him, and you see his upper body peering through it, and he looks around, and he just grabs the edges of the hole and pulls himself through. And then he looks around, quite happy with himself. Before he looks around, he can't quite seem to find a rabbit. The children in the crowd laugh because a rabbit is in fact sitting on his head. He scratches his head a little bit. This comedy sketch goes on for a little bit longer as he does a little can't find it, but he's looking around. It's odd. Eventually he finds the rabbit, he gives it a little pet, and he puts that too in his pocket. It just seems to vanish into his pocket. He gives a bow before he steps off. The music goes quiet, the lights turn on, as there's a quick little intermission. They seem to be setting up the stage for something different. They are coming out with these almost wooden boards. They're setting up a larger structure of some sort. These movable little curtains are set up. More snacks are handed out. Once again, they say 1 beverage, 1 snack per person is being handed out. Any extras will be charged.
How generous.
You sit there for a moment, and you can see the families are talking. They're having a great time. You hear people discussing the previous acts they've seen, and the attitudes seem jovial, incredibly jovial. 15, 20 minutes pass before the lights again do a little flash, to signal that the second act is beginning. This time, stepping up on the stage, you see, in a combination of practical and magical effects, a person in a goose outfit with a large axe in its beak.
Oh,
Beak.
It just looks like a human-sized goose
Ah, of course.
that is walking up on the stage. And you hear this narration in the background by Naira explaining how the mighty goose arrived to find his long lost love, and you see an actual swan is being pushed up on the stage. The swan flaps its wing, and this goose, they do a little bit of a dance to each other before the swan does a melodramatic gesture. And the narrator explains, however, the swan was the guardian of a swamp that had been infested by dangerous things. And as the swan and the goose journeyed across the swamp, protecting it from these dangerous monsters. And you see these people in what looks like zombie makeup walk up on stage, and whenever they are hit by the goose's axe, they have these prop limbs that they tear off, and red claw come flying out. And eventually, this large paper mache dragon head pierced through behind the curtains, and it says, "I am the big dragon of the swamp. Fear me!" And the narrator explains that the goose fears no one, and the mighty goose lets out a great honk before it lunges at the dragon. The curtains fall for a second before open, and the dragon head lays on the ground, with the goose now covered in what looks like some form of fake blood. And the narrator explains, the swan, now saved from this dangerous dragon, proclaims its love, and they lived happily ever after.
Oh, that's our boy. That's our goose.
As they
Well
walk off the
done.
stage. After that, the stage remains. It is cleaned up quite quickly before two familiar twin tieflings take the stage. They do a quick little gymnastics routine, simply showing off their skills. Before you see coming up on stage this what looks like a young woman comes up, and she starts singing this beautiful song. It has an odd rhythm to it. And the narrator, Naira, speaks and says, to wrap up tonight's show, we are going to share a song by a wonderful friend of mine, a traveler of far and wide, as you pick up on the lyrics of the shanty of Feminist Karen. And as the song comes to an end, and the whole crowd, now having followed along, yells out, for Captain Feminist Karen. Show ends. All of the various actors come up on the stage, they bow, they curtsy. Naira thanks everyone. To those of you who came from Evanspire, do not worry, as long as you have your ticket stub, the portal should let you back home. No problems. She thanks everyone for appearing, but only the four of you hear a whisper in your ears from Naira that says, thank you. I will do my utmost to help where I can. You eventually are led out. People start filing out of the tent. You see the snacks that have fallen on the ground are being swept up by these animated brooms. They're just moving them away by themselves.
The suspicious
see-
mouse.
And walking outside, the rain is coming down slightly harder. The night sky has definitely grown darker. It is getting quite late when you arrive back in Ebonspire. However, for the first time in a long time, you've had quite a lovely evening. You got a chance to simply enjoy a moment of happiness, sitting down. And you return to Ebonspire. The sky is dark. The Pavilion of Trade seems empty at first before all the people from this show appear. They start heading home. Some walk to an open pub to talk and drink. Nana, while the others head back to the rooms in the back of the guild, you spot a figure sitting in one of the booths of the guild hall. You see a tall, handsome man in traveler's garbs. Next to him, he's apparently feeding leftovers from his plates to a dog, a large ochre red mastiff.
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone, yeah.
But you do recognize the figure sitting there. Hayden Kalian looks up at you. And after a moment you realize it's just the two of you sitting there. He hands over a bowl of soup to you. He says, I figured you might be hungry. I mean, you cooked for me so many times, it's only right that I do the same for you.
All right, Caden, let's see what you've got. And she will take the soup and sit down.
And he says, now, we've had some great dinners, you and I. Sadly, this is not a leisurely visit.
Give him the full Hell's Kitchen treatment.
I assumed as much, Caden, and I'm glad you popped by. Because I also have questions.
Well, while I'm here, I might as well answer them, no? You first.
Me first? Well, you came all the way to see me.
Yeah. And I want to hear you talk. What have you been up to? How's your day been? How was the show?
The show? Oh my goose. If he's really in love, I need to meet her, you know? And she does tell him a little bit about what they've been doing, knowing full well that he's already probably fully aware of what they've been doing. So she leaves out the massive details. But she does hesitate when she gets to Naira and their chat, and she just goes, Caden, we've been friends for a while, even though you're a stinker and didn't tell me you were a god.
I mean, it's hard to find really the right moment to drop such a bomb.
Like, oh, by the way, I'm God.
And I didn't want to soil our relationship. I felt we had something nice.
No, you never would. You never would. But can I just ask you something as a friend?
Sure. Go ahead.
Because I think we're going to have a choice to let the veil fall or to forge a new one. And I'm afraid of what you're going to ask me. And I don't know. I don't know what the right choice is. I've heard that the material plane was better off with gods, better off without gods, and I'm not sure which one I prefer, and it scares me.
That is actually why I came here, Nana. I wanted to give you my 2 bronze coins on what's going on. I am known as the god of freedom fighters, the god of liberty. Well, drink. And he holds the tankard up.
Mm.
I'll be completely honest with you. I think the mortals have done well. I don't see any good reasons why the veil should fall. But it is true, at the end of it all, it is going to be up to... It's going to be up to the Ur-Dragons and the champions. You, heroes, carrying the boons of the gods of old. Your voices are going to weigh heavily. But I want you to know that I think this world might be better off without us. In time, if we leave, in time new gods will be born. Gods of this world. Your own gods. But that is
Well.
not the same. And it might take millennia or longer. There will be bad times and good times no matter what.
Yes. So, this is good soup, by the way, Caden. I can't believe you haven't cooked for me more.
It's been holding out on
I'll
you.
be honest, I don't cook often.
Has it been a couple
I'm
millennia?
no, I think.
Well, you've still got it.
Well, the friends I make tend to be people who cook, and they're more than happy to share. I bring the drink, they bring the food. I feel like it's a give and take.
That's all we ask. Yes. Caden, if we do properly close the veil, as you think it may be good to do, does that mean I won't see you for a while?
That is very likely, yes.
Mm. You've made a lot of friends here.
I have. But I would make sure to say goodbye properly to everyone, I think.
What, what about the first world? Is that still in your jurisdiction?
The first world was never my jurisdiction. I too was mortal once, Nana, but not of this plane. The material plane is... there are many worlds. There are ways to not only travel between the planes, but travel to completely different realities. I'm not really supposed to say too much. It is doable. It is very difficult. It is doable. But I feel like you shouldn't come looking for me. I will always remember you, and you will always remember me. I've made damn sure of that.
Oh, stop. And she flicks some soup at him.
And He just like wipes it off and then he moves his hand down and his dog licks it off his hand.
Hmm. And she
You'll
goes,
do fine, Anna. This world will do fine.
yes.
It won't be easy, but I think it's for the best.
All right. Well, I appreciate your counsel because even though I feel older than you, I feel like it might be the other way around. And
Depends.
I don't suppose everyone else's gods are going to have a different idea.
In a way, they're all still people with their own agendas.
Yes. Aren't we all?
Of course, if it ends up the veil does drop, I'll be here. I'll be here to make sure the others are kept in check.
Oh, I know
You know?
you will.
I'm on the people's side. I may be a god, but I'm on the people's side. I always will be.
Yes. And that's what I like about you.
Thank you. You're a
Well-
great friend, Belibora.
No.
And so are you,
Even-
Caden.
I don't think this is the last time we'll see each other.
Oh no, you promised me you'd be there to take me to the first world, and I fully intend on keeping that promise with you. Don't even think about squirreling out of it. I know you, Caden. You'll have to
If
keep
it's
that
the last
date.
thing I can do on this plane, I will hold your hand as we walk through that door.
A toast to friends?
A toast to friends and to adventures to be had.
Clink.
You have a nice conversation with Caden. You sit there for a while. You simply talk, reminisce about the times you've had together. Eventually, everyone finds a nice slumber after everything that's happened. Simply fall into a nice, well-deserved rest.
Ah.
You may all take a long rest.
Yee.
Yay!
Woo. It feels like forever since we've had a long rest.
It's been a long day.
I'm
Yeah.
re-preparing a couple spells, so bear with
Yes. Where's
Does it
that
bear with you?
message?
me. Rudy is dialing his undead girlfriend.
No, I
I
just
believe it's
remembered
a-
that there's. It's a good one to
I
have.
believe it's a.
I don't know.
Is it a third or fourth
I think it
level
was
spell
third.
called Sending?
Sending, yeah.
One.
Yep.
God damn it.
Where
What's
is
the
my
one
secret
for?
Plants?
How
Oh,
many,
it's
Omen
full.
Glass.
How many charges
Oh,
Lemon Glass gets
Mhm.
back?
That's actually pretty nifty. We like a one. You can use
No, we
that.
don't.
Yeah.
no, like it only got one use back.
One out of
Oh,
three.
I thought you rolled a one.
Yeah, I thought the same
Yeah,
thing.
no.
Where's my
Nice
oh my
thought,
gosh.
but yeah, no.
Speak. Here we go.
So many of these items don't automatically clear. So I have to go like every long rest. I got to go through and just like uncheck all of these boxes.
If they are homebrew items, I'll take a note to look into if there's a technical.
Oh
thing
no,
I
no!
can
This is Cape of the Mountebank. This is like that's a legit item that I have to do a manual.
Okay, that's odd.
Yeah. All right. Give me a good roll on that one, please. 12 is nice.
Okay.
12.
I've got what I want. Oh, and I knocked over my dice. Nice.
It's not quite fully charged again, but it's pretty close. Feel like there's something else. Or have I got it all? I think I got it all. I'm pretty sure I got it all. If I haven't, I'll find out later when it's too late.
I mean, if any time is for finding that out, that might be it.
Just because I feel like it would have been useful in the past and I've like totally blanked on knowing it, I also have slotted in the spell tongues. So communication might be a little bit easier. Thank you for making
You'll
my
be
choice.
immediately both.
That's fine. That's why I got it. Yep. So we can make that joke.
Like a turkey.
Like a turkey. That's right. Not
Gobble,
a goose.
Gobble. Very good. Okay, I think that's everything set.
As morning comes to and you all sit down for breakfast in the guild hall, there's definitely movement this morning. It seems that the storm druids have indeed located Herald and they're preparing to head out with a group of the volunteers. Again, you overhear them talking. Their plan is to see if they can maybe corral the Herald to move closer to the various farmlands near Ebonspire to help quicken the growth of various seeds, of various food items. Also, it would help cattle growth. It would help just the land itself. If a war comes, if a war does come, there is a fear that the land may suffer itself. This is all being done as a precaution.
Could Arthur have Nana write up a very nice notice scroll for applications of killed commander in the event of upcoming battles, looking for someone to take over the guild while current person is so Arthur's sort of saying this to you. He's saying like I can't say it well, I can't write it well, but can we put a notice on how to replace me and put it on the board somewhere so we can get people applying and stuff like that? Because look, if I die, this guild needs someone to look after it.
Oh, Arthur, you're not going to die, but of course, yes.
Yeah, I'm still here.
What
am I?
Touch
Chopped
that.
liver?
You went out of contention ever after friggin' you won't do paperwork. Even if you brought me back to life.
That's what I mean. You're
you
not
brought
going
me
to
back
die
to
because
life.
I'm here. What?
No.
It's like you have no faith in my abilities, Arthur. That's so
That's
insulting.
not the point. It's not the point. The point is I don't want to be running this.
Oh,
when
you
I'm
want
old.
out.
Arthur, you're already old. Come on.
Well, I
What do
mean,
you want
compared
to
to
say?
these young, compared to these young ones.
Also, to be fair, Arthur makes a good point that we're going to be spending more time afield, and there'd be someone needs to be running the place while we're out, dealing with.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think it's a good idea that we do this. And as Nana will write up the commander, like applications and just say, hey, whoever wants to apply, give it to X, Y, and Z, and then we'll go through them and stuff. She's also going to write a little letter. Yeah, she's going to write a little letter. And basically the letter is going to say, to whom it may concern, if you are reading this, I have unfortunately died. And then it is going to proceed to tell them about bleaching and gnomes and where she thinks the cure is, and if like where to find Gem, and go to Gem, say my name, and please accompany Gem into the mountains. And she will put all the information that she possibly has in there, sign it Nana Melivora, fold it up, and give it to Vinny, and go, now, Vinny, I need you to keep this very safe, all right? Very safe. And she will actually speak with plants as she says that, because I don't think he's awakened at the moment. Is he? Oh, he might be, actually. He is.
He is.
Sort
He's
of,
awakened.
yeah.
And he takes it with one of his little twigs, and he sort of folds it one more time, and then it's almost like pulled into the branches that make up his body.
And she gives him a little kiss on the forehead and presents a hard-boiled egg and goes, I'm going to be away for a little longer. I don't want to leave you behind necessarily, but I don't want to put you in danger. What would you like? What would you prefer?
The little twig blight munches on this egg slowly, savoring it, thinking over what you're saying. You don't get a big response necessarily.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
I'm sorry.
We did not hear a thing, by
No,
the
we
way.
didn't. It was good.
Okay.
So
That was very.
Vinny responds, saying that he appreciates your concern. He wants to be with you, but genuinely, he explains that he's afraid of dying.
Yes, Vinny. And that is precisely why I'm not asking you to come. And she takes one of his little branches and goes, look, things are getting a little serious. But if something does happen to me, I will make sure that you are always taken care of. All right?
Little branches curl around your hands. He says, "Thank you."
And your sibling, and they look over and the chicken's like eating a sock, and they're like, yep, well, and Artie Jr., of course.
The note that you scribed for Arthur has been put up on the bulletin board. A couple of the members have walked up and read it. They've talked amongst themselves. Definitely a few of them have looked towards the group after reading it.
Does
You
Arthur
hear
notice
murmuring.
like looking at them?
Yeah.
Other ways, just he goes, "Hi."
they like wipe back. Hi.
What you looking at?
Oh my god. Don't
I
scare them
don't
away.
know him.
know?
I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him.
Yeah. You finding it interesting?
Arthur, that's how you lose applicants.
I love this.
And you see one of them, like the one not talking, just sort of like walks away. Just
I mean, on the one hand, it's a good filtering process.
That's exactly right, Gerald. I'm just saying, if they can't handle annoying people, they're not right for the job.
The person talking says, "I was actually gonna ask if rather than applying, can we nominate people?"
Oh, perfect. I would love that. That means you feel someone's worthy to do the job. Of course, nominate it. Way.
Okay, you see them like scribbling something.
I hope
on,
they write
like,
your
an
name
open
down.
section.
They write my fucking name.
No,
down.
half of them, right? We heard of this amazing wizard named Geralthazar. You know, I reckon if you can get in contact with him, he would lead the guild into a new era of prosperity.
They'll never find him.
Josie writing down half votes to Geralthazar.
Vanguard of the Black.
Mm.
The day is yours.
Ooh.
Right. Well, over breakfast,
Mhm.
I feel like Rudy would share his final wish experience, you know, the legend lore and
yes.
whatnot.
Yeah,
And yeah, he would definitely explain about the village that the Martin located and the metal seemingly that they were mining and utilizing in the sort of the, I don't know, it wasn't really reanimation, but it was more like life giving slash prolonging. It was
like
Mm.
anti-undead.
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
He would explain all about that. And then he would sort of like finish the story and go, oh, and the darndest thing happened after I finished you performing the spell. I got a visit from Ergothoa.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear. I mean, okie dokie.
Dead.
Lost another 5 points of health.
23.
23.
Oh, shit.
As you think about speaking the
Mm.
words, you feel a resistance, like you're
Mm.
having to push the words out, but they do eventually come.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Concerning.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that you know that's interesting. I also have a very lovely visit from Caden. Got up on a lot of things.
Oh, well, I mean, she was very insistent that the metal might be useful in our coming battle, to be honest. Being anti-undead in some way, shape, or form, there might be a way we can acquire it. If we can, might be a very nice weapon against Jalira's army.
That's a very interesting thought, Rudy.
In your vision, you mean?
No, this was after. The discussion with Ergothoa was after.
Yes, no, but the metal you're referring to was the one that you saw in the wish vision.
Yes.
Right.
And you said
The
the wishing, if you will. And you said, was this village close? Oh, I'm mixing them up. I'm sorry.
Whereabouts
Not close
did
to
you say
the
it was?
cave. It was the village. Yes.
It was, and Rudy would
It
explain.
was in the northern.
Yeah, it was in the northern shard. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, was that the cave?
No, the cave was
Yes.
Oh,
Which cave are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fungus cave.
the fungus cave, which is the same cave as Wormsbane's cave.
Yeah.
Isn't that on
Are they
a
both
is.
over in the
little
west?
island
Oh,
or something?
Yeah, it's like a little jagged peak of rock that sticks up between the west and the north shard. No, but the village from the Wishen was actually in the dark forest, to the very, very most western point of the west shard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. So definitely, a little possibly out of our way. I mean, most of the things we've got to do are a little out of our way, to be honest, considering we want to go down into the Underdark at some point. But regardless, if there was a way to acquire this metal, could possibly put it into production.
Hello, Nana.
Maybe. Oh, yes.
Cuddly has a question.
Cuddly or Nana has a question.
Cuddly has a question. Has Nana been to the Western Shard? Because I don't think so. I think it was.
You're on the Western Shard.
Why did I think there was one in the middle? Okay, never mind. Has Nana been this far west? Bandoria's in the west. Okay.
Bandoria is to the west, but into the forest past Bandoria, there's a ledge of rock, like a ravine, that you had to go up to see the dragon. Yes. But then further west, through the deepest, darkest forest, there's another ravine that's like 600 feet tall. And above that is an even older, denser, more dark forest among
So I've only been like halfway there. Whoa.
Yeah. Also, this forest essentially like takes up almost the entirety of the western and southwestern edge of the continent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. I just wanted to get an idea of how close I could get. Thank you.
It might be one of those. We might, if we were to look for it, we might have to use that cloud dealio. Fly over everything.
Yeah, Nana will say, "Oh, I did see this," and then use her prior knowledge of the Western Shard.
Could we not dispatch someone? I don't think
Oh,
it's really
it definitely
our sort of bag to go mining, is it?
No. It's more that the people there, if they're still there, might be a little more resistant to anyone who might not be of a similar persuasion.
What do you mean?
And Rudy kind of like indicates to himself.
Undead, Gerald, undead. Or rather, what do you that undead?
Well, are they
sort of
still
dead, mildly
are they
dead?
still occupied?
I wouldn't know, but it's more of a, we could either send, look, put it this way, when they were visited by a stranger who was completely living, they were extremely mistrustful, or at least to Martin, they were extremely mistrustful and would not even hear a word of what he said. Admittedly, he was a very angry man, but
He did seem a bit, from what
you idea how long ago it was?
Quite some time. I don't think there was a time sort of scale given to Rudy, like
somewhere between 10 and 15 years, probably.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rudy, did you happen to catch any names or see any faces that you could describe at all?
No, no, there was no. There was just a lot of yelling, to be honest. Yelling, shouting, hostage taking, hostage killing. It wasn't very.
Right.
Martin
and
didn't
what
seem
did you
good
say
on
the
details.
hostage looked like? Didn't you say his cloak fell back?
Well, he was very. He was like a. I don't know, like a put together amalgamation of body parts, really.
Interesting. All right. Thank you. Yes.
But I believe that if we were to pursue this, I feel like I should be there. It just makes sense, Especially considering this direction was given to us by the deity of undeath. It kind of,
it was kind of her idea.
It was absolutely.
It does make sense.
As Rudy's kind of prompted this discussion in this angle, has the resistance to the words increased or decreased?
They've been similar. There's almost like when you want to mention every time you refer to your conversation with Urgathoa, it's like you catch your tongue for a moment, but you manage to like break through it. But it's still there. It's like like you have to push it out.
What would I have to roll to see that?
I don't know.
Insight or perception or nothing?
Well, considering
depends on if Rudy's trying to hide it or not.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I mean, he's not trying to hide that, because the party knows that he
was trying to hide it. Yeah.
Yeah, the party knows that he has encounters and discussions, and the party would know that
she's a little bit cagey at best.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, the way he's presenting it is that it's a good idea. Like, he's not saying that it's not wanted for any nefarious purpose or anything like that. That's why I was gauging whether, the resistance was getting easier or lessened or worsened. He's not hiding anything, really. You could just say maybe because they're eating breakfast, there's something getting caught in his throat.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if Nana could pick up when the stumbles were or not, but yeah, probably not. To be fair, Rudy does talk with his mouth off. So.
Also very difficult to eat without a lot of the skin.
We've learned, but also you need a strong stomach.
Yeah, I feel like focusing on Rudy at a meal time, trying to gather insight might be a little tricky.
I feel like it's a parent's worst nightmare.
Oh,
I just remember my
absolutely.
parents always saying, "Chew with your mouth closed."
Rudy, it's literally
And
chew with your mouth.
Rudy just can't.
He just can't.
Rudy just has no mouth to close. So, makes sense.
Anyway, aside from that, we have 2 wishes. They're unlocked. They're ready to go. I have the ring safe.
Well, actually, speaking of gods and visits and wishes, I got a visit from my patron as well, as it were. Nethys stopped by. Very curious about the wishes. Understandably, being a god of magic and such.
Right.
Considering we literally, manipulated reality and time with our first wish, I would understandably so.
Yes, understand his curiosity. He's wanting to do a trade of some sort. Essentially would like to buy one of the wishes off us. Well, yes,
right.
as far as gods are concerned, he's willing to offer us most anything, I imagine, within his powers to gain
I
one of
don't
these
know if
wishes.
I feel like that would be such a good idea, sort of letting people buy our wishes as such. It's
So we trade a tool that can do literally anything for
It
a
sounds a
reward
little
that is
dangerous.
actually something that might not be able to do literally anything.
Well, obviously I didn't take him up on the spot or anything, but I did make the suggestion that perhaps once he'd studied it, that perhaps he could teach me to be able to cast more in the future.
Well, that's
and how long do you think it would take him to study it?
I have no idea. I'm not a god.
That's
certainly not a god of magic.
What if
I don't know. My thoughts, even if he was to study it, learn how to use more of it, that makes a god to be pretty, the most strongest god out there. If they learn how to do wishes all the goddamn time, whenever they want.
Well, he's already the god of magic, Arthur.
Yeah, I know, but you can understand my hesitation here.
I don't know why, but there was something about it. He just said there was something about this wish that he wanted to understand better, and so he was prepared to offer us something to have one, basically.
I mean, I can understand.
I don't think it's a terrible offer. I mean,
well, hang on. This is coming from the guy.
Able to ask our price from a god.
This is but you've never been one to give away a resource that can be as immensely powerful. As
no, absolutely not. I agree. That's why I'm saying he's not giving it away. He's willing to offer us pretty much whatever we want, which is as good as a wish in my book. But obviously, we would want to make it worth for ourselves.
What if after we conclude our current mission, if we have a wish remaining, I don't see why not.
Potentially, but I mean, it might be too late by that point, potentially, if we seal them up or what have you,
I do understand.
Ask for a deposit.
Ask for a deposit.
What if we need? I don't know. I'm not.
Look, I agree. That's why I'm bringing it up to discuss with you all.
I understand.
In the past, I might have just just gone, sure, no problems. Here you go. Teach me something of value. He offered to keep me alive, and I actually turned that down.
That's very brave of you, Gerald. That's very brave.
I don't know that it's necessarily the best idea, but I felt in the moment that my friends had me, and
did he offer to keep you alive forever, or?
Well, the implication wasn't necessarily forever, but at least once forever.
Oh, once for well, Rudy can do that.
Well, not exactly the same, but yes, that was kind of my point as well.
Well, look, Gerald, I appreciate his curiosity, and I think it shows something that's very lovely. I do hesitate to give away something so powerful, but
Well,
if we
let's
have one left
be
over,
clear: we're not giving away anything. We are trading power for knowledge, or power for other power, or you know.
I don't need anything from Nethys. The only thing I would ask is that he only study the wish and then return it to the material plane where it can be found. And should he learn how to create more, he does not give them out freely. That is too much power, I
I
think.
don't think that's necessarily how it works, as far as I know. But
I don't need material things, but I would like his word if we do have a wish left over to give him.
How about we return to this discussion? Maybe if we end up using one of the wishes and have one remaining. At the moment, to give one away when we have an extra one might seem too easy. Oh, sorry, not to give one away. To trade one, it might seem too easy in that, oh, we've still got one remaining. But what if we have to burn one in the next coming days? And then we're feeling a little exposed going into our final quest.
I do agree. I mean, I have many worries and concerns, and that's certainly among them. What I did think, though, was that if it is possible to trade a wish for the knowledge of wishes, the sooner the better then, right?
There's no guarantee he would unravel.
There's no guarantee with anything, Rudy. There is no guarantee with life or tomorrow or anything at all.
You're right.
All I'm simply suggesting is that we hedge our bets. And I'm not saying that we should do this. I only bring it up with you all because I trust you, and this is important. And I feel it's worth discussing.
Absolutely.
At the very least.
No, you're right. You are right.
I don't suppose if we give him a wish, he'll just stop Jalira and close the veil for us, will he?
I feel like we could just wish for that.
The thing
I feel like we could do
that you have to understand, I don't think he's like, from what you've told me about Urgathoa, from what you've told me about Caden, and from what Arthur's said about whatever his arrow god is.
Oh, they're all so sexy.
Exactly. I don't think he really cares in a lot of ways. All he really is interested in is knowledge, and I think that is just the ends of it. From what he doesn't really have ulterior motives as far as my discussions with him go. He's never pressured me for anything. He's never asked me to do anything in particular for him, and not even this is a demand. He simply was like, I really want to know about this wish. It's really curious to me, and I need to know how it works. I think that's simply his entire thing, and I kind of respect that.
I respect the curiosity and the desire to know more. I'm not sure we can give him
a motive or one beyond that, I think, is the point.
I don't know if we can give him a good answer right now, but
no, of course, it's something that needs thinking upon. But
yes, perhaps give us some days.
Should know what he asked, or what he offered.
I will certainly give it some thought.
Let's hang on to it for now and maybe see how we feel in a few days.
I like that idea.
I feel like depending on how we go,
if he were able to, I don't even know if it's within my power, honestly, but if he were able to teach me how to cast it myself as a spell, that could change a lot of things for us.
It could.
Or I just won't be able to do it.
A spell of that magnitude would be... It would be... I can't even begin to understand how many components, what it would take from you.
I don't know. I mean, if it can be stored in a ring of all things, 3 of them, like.
I feel like that's a special circumstance.
Well, that's just it. We don't know, do we?
No.
And there's only one person who's good at knowing things about magic, and that's Nethys. That's all I can think.
I'll think about it.
Anyway,
Definitely on the fence about it.
Yes, I would like some time. But about your other matter, Gerald.
Yes.
I haven't. I was going to go to the library and research if they had any books on the plane of water. But
Oh yes. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, needing to breathe, so bothersome. I remember when I used to have to breathe.
Please, the porridge needs to go down the other pipe.
Thank you, Nana.
What are you talking
There.
about? Oh shit, that's right there. I haven't even been checking whether it's going down. Oh, I'll be back.
Rudy, do you have porridge in your lungs?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Rudy?
I just kind of shovel it in.
On that note, I think we're gonna take our break
Oh, no.
Good idea.
as Rudy heads off to I don't know, expunge his lungs to check how they're doing.
Literally, it looks in the chest cavity. Oh yeah, there's porridge in that one. So squeeges it out.
Oh my god.
Oh, but you just know that if he
Oh
was
my
by
God.
himself, he would look around, see if anyone was watching, and just squeeze it out of his lungs and then re-swallow it.
Oh my god.
You
he
don't tell
would.
me he wouldn't.
No,
you
you
know
would.
you would.
No,
It's perfectly good food. And it was already inside him, right?
God.
I don't know actually. That's hang on. You know what? There's a way I can know.
Are you gonna roll for it? He would.
I don't
He
want to talk
would,
about
wouldn't
it.
Roll.
Don't want to talk about it.
I wanna talk about it.
But yes, anyone who needs to take a little stretch, go to the toilet, refill any drink, grab a snack. Some of us might be hanging around, but we will be rolling ads just so we can have less of them for the rest of the show.
Yes. Yep.
I'm definitely going to be right back after I click this little button. Everyone, we will see you so soon.
I will be hanging around, but I will be running the ads. So I'm going to click the button, and it looks like wait, Roju, are you still here? It's hard to tell. Roju is gone. All right, I'm the only one here. I'm going to hit that ad button. So I do apologize, but we are live on Twitch, which does mean we do have to run ads. So to all of you who can see me, at least on my side of things, just be a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. And there we go. And for those of you still here, thank you so much for subbing to the channel. And those of you who are still here from Josie's ads and Orb's ads, thank you for subbing to the channels. Very appreciative. Not needed, but definitely appreciative. So, everyone coming in. First of all, while I've got a captive audience now, thank you so much, Tabletop Obscure, for the raid. I really do appreciate that, mate. It's a little tricky while we're playing the game for me to actually say thank you, verbally like this, using my words. So thank you and welcome on in, raiders. Hope you enjoyed your time with Tabletop Obscure and hope you continue to enjoy your time with us. Across all the streams, I hope you're all having a wonderful night. Another bit of a sort of like lore-heavy session, a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that. But we have been talking about it behind the scenes. We will be getting back to the action very, very shortly. We just need to wrap up a few loose ends, so don't worry about that. Larspan laughing, saying Aussie smells. That's right, I do smell like deodorant because I had a shower and put on deodorant before the stream. So, I do smell, but I smell okay. The circus was pretty amazing. That's right. We actually went to a in-game circus at the start of the session. It was pretty cool. Josie had like a really long version set up, like sort of like a bit of improv to make it a really long version. But we were like, hey, let's do it like a half version so we can actually get through it and get faster into the action, sort of stuff like that. But yeah, no, it was really, really good, really, really awesome. I'm quite happy with how that went. For those of you who are relatively new to what we do over here, so we've been running a campaign for a very long time. We're like 2.5, almost 3 years, I believe. ? We're either almost 2 years or almost 3 years. It kind of gets to that point when you pass the the 1 year and a half mark, you kind of lose track of just how long you've been doing it. But this has been a long campaign. This has been a very, very long campaign. Believe it or not, we are actually on the end side of it. We are literally counting down the sessions we have remaining, which is pretty exciting. We're very, very excited for the conclusion to this campaign and seeing whether we can come out on top and triumph over quote unquote evil, or whether we will be unfortunately defeated, and Jalira will get what she wants. So if you do enjoy climactic endings to campaigns and you want to tune in every Sunday night going forward, then make sure you hit that follow button regardless of whichever stream you're watching. I can guarantee you, no matter who you're watching, you're going to get some pretty fantastic content from Joe Sposa. Posey, you're going to get a whole bunch of really, really, really awesome RPG awesomeness. Not only Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop, but also some video game RPG as well. From Wetterstorb, you get everything. You get everything. You have no idea what you're going to get from Wetterstorb. Completely variety, completely random, but all pretty freaking hilarious. From Cuddly Raptor, you will find the best gamer as voted by all her friends. Also, the smallest gamer as voted by me. You also got Roju from Participation Award, who, when he does stream, it is a fantastic chill time filled with conversation, puns, laughs, and an amazing, amazing bean. And I suppose over here, you find Souls-like content, Pokemon content, and Dungeons & Dragons. That's kind of what I do at the moment, which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I'm going to admit it. It's a little bit fun. Welcome back, everyone who's watching ads. I'm pretty sure the ads have finished across all of the channels who are streaming this live at the moment. So welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had some good ads.
Oh, I return.
You return. Let's go.
Oh. Oh my god, coughing my lungs out. I tell you what,
dude. Oh my gosh, it's yeah. When you're at that point of being sick, it's not great. It's not great.
No. Can't recommend it, but we're pushing through. I'm here for the D&D.
Heck
here
yeah.
for the friend times.
Yours.
It's good. It's good.
Oh.
Eating these cough drops like no tomorrow.
Cough drops are literally like you're just popping them like they're Tic Tacs.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm always worried. So a while ago, I got a throat infection, like a good year or so ago, I reckon, maybe longer. But that throat infection has kind of like scarred me quite considerably. Whenever I get a scratchy throat, I think, oh no, is this another throat infection? Because there were nights there, dude, where I was just like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I could, but I just felt like I couldn't. And
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It scares me so much now. Like, oh.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No. The smallest, best gamer here doesn't scare me.
We're gonna have a tournament, and I'm gonna lose.
It's
so
too late, Cuddly.
hard. Oh my god!
You weren't here to defend yourself, and I gave everyone a shout out in an intro and a discussion, and I told everyone just who you were. So get wrecked.
Oh my god! You told them that my actual name isn't Cuddly Raptor.
Yeah, I told
them that it was Hugly Raptor instead.
I said it was Spiky Chicken.
Spiky Chicken. You used my government name.
I did.
I can't believe
I said you lived in a nice little hobbit hole in a hill. So...
You doxed me?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Spiky Chicken in the hobbit hole in a hill. You doxed me and used my government name. Everyone's gonna come looking for me. I'm gonna run around like a spiky chicken with no head.
Hey, Duncan Dice. Hello, how you doing?
Lordy.
Hold on, I gotta go make sure there's no broccoli in my teeth for reasons.
What?
She's actually going out to check her front.
I can't hear you.
She's going out to check her front door of the hole to make sure that there's no one who's arrived.
There's no suspicious wizards asking if things are secret or safe.
I don't know. With a spiky chicken, I feel like things would definitely be secret and safe.
There's no broccoli.
Sure.
Not anywhere in the world. Just Are you scared?
Aren't you scared?
Are you scared? Do you guys like remember when we all painted those miniatures?
I do remember that.
Yeah, my little Spooter boy.
Spooter.
He still doesn't have a name. It's a maybe Shelob? I don't know.
Speaking of miniatures, do you all know yesterday I went on a little road trip to a game store where with me and my IRL TTRPG friends, we went and we played the session. We booked a room and we played like in the store and did shopping.
Was that a good? You did say that was happening. Was that fun?
I did hear
and
about it.
They even had like they delivered food to the rooms, and the only issue is that the room was like much smaller than we anticipated.
Yeah, it's snugger.
But
than
it was a great
for.
time. I bought some really cool stuff, and we had a great time. But we also had the room closest to the entrance, so everyone walking into the store like looked in on us playing.
Oh no! Is it weird that fills me with dread, like being sighted like that? But I'm literally here live right now, broadcasting what we're doing.
Yeah, but see, doing it like this though there's not a window where you see people just like staring through it at you.
Yeah,
like we're meant to, like we do this on purpose.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah,
you're in a window.
like the windows that are directly in front of me, the virtual windows.
But there was also a lot of foot traffic because like the open area, because sometimes they do have like a large open area by the restaurant where people can just go and game. But that was all closed down. The reason we had to book like a private room was because they were actually hosting a yearly Warhammer 30K tournament.
30K?
Wait, yeah, hang on, 30K.
It's the one that's called like the Heresy of Horus.
Oh, Horus Heresy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Oh.
So they were hosting a tournament, so there was like a lot of people there. And I was just like looking at the setups of their battle maps.
Some of their stuff's so good. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. My brother's big into the fantasy Warhammer, whereas I'm definitely more of a 40K fan. And
I thought they stopped making fantasy Warhammer.
No, still going.
No, they changed the name though. Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Where's my?
They rebranded.
They did.
My God, it's right in front of me.
Well, I mean, they gave it a name because I think.
Name.
War of Sigma.
Cuddly, don't try to get no.
War of Sigma Delta Sigma.
War of Sigma.
More like Slugma. War of Slugma.
Slugma.
More like Ligma.
That's an air horn, but I don't know why I did an actual horn. Like,
well, because it's fantasy, not.
Yeah.
Fantasy's nuts.
I don't have the bingo card up. There's no point to these nut strokes right now.
What do you mean? There's no point.
There's always a point. It's to make you roll your eyes.
I mean, if your nuts are pointy, you might want to talk to your doctor.
It's true.
This is actually very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And other news, just bear with me while I book an appointment. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
Oh dear.
Are we waiting on the Orby?
Orb did reappear for a second, but he kind of.
Orby's little one is a little under the weather, so I think he'll be in and out a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But
I've been keeping him up to date in his chat, so he knows like what has gone, what has transpired, conversations, all that good stuff.
Do we want to continue, or should we?
We definitely probably can.
Yeah, I think we can.
Because we left off with Rudy getting porridge out of his lungs.
Yeah.
That was I don't know
what that go? Yeah.
I don't know what the English word for it, but when a cow eats and then regurgitates and eats again.
So just for clarification, it was more to get out of the conversation than to actually check if he had porridge in his lungs. There was no porridge.
But he did. No, you rolled for it.
I rolled to see if he would re-eat it. I rolled to see if he would re-eat it.
This is Rudy's cut.
There was no porridge in his.
I'm gonna ask a question about Australia.
Yeah.
In Australia, do they sell like jam or actual porridge, sometimes in these like plastic sausages almost that you cut open.
Plastic. I was about to say, of course we have jam, but then you said plastic
No.
sausages, Josie.
No.
It's,
I have
it's called like
concerns.
jam
We're gonna
jam
say yes.
refill.
No, we don't.
It's like refillable jam.
No, we do not.
No.
No.
Oh, so
Okay.
you're not supposed to eat the sausage.
It's gone.
Okay, so
Or
Cuddly's
back
got a
or-
barbecue going, and it's a barbecue, not with beef sausages. No, they're jam sausages.
It smells like burning plastic. Maybe you should still come because I'm lonely.
It's just a bunch of jam, like in some kind of like
They
edible
said we're
skin.
And then you
vegetarian.
take-
I don't understand.
You take a bite out of it, and molten hot jam just
I'm-
all over everyone.
Oh my Josie, I'm just shaking my head here.
Josie started this.
No,
Actually,
but
you know
don't
what?
think
That
they
that
sell
raises a
that,
very good point.
But I
though.
understand what you mean now. This
Okay.
is kind of like the time that you said the dragon brewed, and I literally thought you meant coffee. So
Okay, but like, hear me out. Is a hot jam donut not just a sausage with jam in it?
it's not a plastic sausage.
No.
But it's a
Yeah,
bread
but it's
sausage.
like it's like a
It's
like
more
a,
of a hamburger.
Does that
Yeah.
mean
if
it's
you really
like a
think about
jam hot dog?
with just,
Because you got
with
like
just like
the-
a
The
thick
burger.
pocket around it.
It's
Is
a
that not a
it.
sausage?
Fat jam
No.
bread burger.
It's
You're a
bread-
fat jam bread burger.
Oh.
You're damn right.
On that note, we are welcome back, everyone. We're gonna get into the second half of this session of
Donuts are just
D&D.
jam sausages.
Furious typing it on.
You heard it here first, chat. Oh no, she's making notes.
Sorry, I'm just writing in my death note.
Roju starts
mean-
coughing a lot harder.
It hasn't been 40 seconds. Calm down.
It's just a precursor.
Oh, okay. Yes. Dies a horrible coughing death.
Oh no.
Legitimately, that was only like half fakery.
Oh, shit.
It was
But,
good times.
okay, everyone.
Yes.
Welcome. We're gonna get back to I'm Josie Boser. I'm the Dungeon Mistress. I'm joined by Roju from Participation Award playing
Hi.
Gerald the Wizard.
That's me.
We got Weddesdorp playing Arthur Orblet III. We got Cuddly Raptor playing Nana Melivora. And we got AussieDevFro playing Rudy Magic Hands McGee. After breakfast, the party goes about their own business for a little bit. Before day really comes to, Arthur, you find yourself behind the guild hall, the archery range. You sometimes go here when you need a moment away from the others, in between paperwork. There's a bit of a fletchery station as well. As you come out, you spend a few words talking to some of the guild volunteers. Eventually, they head off, and you have the archery range all to yourself. It is a nice morning. You do realize, though, there's a chill in the air. The climate on the Western Shard, sure, it changes throughout the year, but it's supposed to be coming up on spring. You don't really get a lot of snow in this area, but for some reason, the air is colder than usual for this time of year. You knock an arrow, you shoot at the target. Without much effort, you still hit near dead center bullseye.
Still got it.
Another arrow hits the same target. See next to you, standing near 8 feet tall, a man with a deer's head, a long furry cloak. You shoot a couple of arrows, alternating, taking times with Aristeel, the old Deadeye. The two of you don't talk much, but you have an understanding. A respect among hunters. Deadeye helps you find your prey. He's also helped you find some semblance of closure regarding your dead wife.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much talking that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot a few arrows. Share a few glances every now and then, giving each other a reassuring nod when someone manages a good shot.
Can Arthur, he's going to try and show off. Is there multiple targets?
There's a couple, different distances and different heights.
He's going to attempt to shoot those targets at the same time. Like maybe 2 to 3.
Okay, make 3 attack rolls.
Here's 1. Here's 2. And here's 3.
All shots hit their targets. Bam, bam, bam. The arrows hit. You don't get perfect bullseyes, but you hit near the center of the target every time. You glance over at Aristil, and you definitely see a smirk. He unhooks the string of his bow and puts his hand on. And his longbow is taller than you are.
Oh, wow, that's a tall bow.
That's a long bow.
And he looks at the targets. You've come a long way, Arthur.
Thank you.
I am sure your friends have mentioned that the gods are now placing their bets.
Yeah, that makes me feel very uneasy that the gods are somewhat getting involved like this.
I am here to reassure you, Arthur, that prey can be found anywhere. You are a gallant man.
Arthur's blushing. Oh, thank you.
I want to reassure you that no matter what is to come, I hold no ill will.
That is actually really, that makes me feel really good now. Yeah, thank you.
These games of power have never interested me.
Look, I don't blame you. They don't really interest me. I just want to make sure that we live.
That was my words to speak. You have come a long way. It has been a pleasure watching you grow.
Oh, thank you. Before you do go, I do only have one question, and I know you just said you don't really care, but do you think we have a chance?
And his eyes look over towards the targets that you just hit. I believe you have a great chance.
Arthur just looks down and goes, "Thank you."
However, preparation is a hunter's
Yes.
most important ability.
Yes.
One can never be too prepared, but if you take too long, your prey may slip away. It is a balancing act to know when to strike and when to wait. I cannot speak on whether you should strike or wait. Your target is difficult.
Yep.
But I will be there to guide your arrows towards the targets.
Thank you so much. I feel so much better. Thank you.
You are welcome. You who follow the path of the hunter, do as well as you.
Oh. I really? I I just I don't know. Yeah, Abdul looks up and realizes and just be quiet again. Just
I will take my leave.
okay.
Just remember what you fight for.
I will.
And as you look up again, he's gone. His arrows still stuck into the practice targets.
Arthur goes up and collects those arrows.
You acquire 3 arrows of beast slaying.
I was just thinking those are going to be actual arrows. Yeah.
That's so cool.
He gets them. He puts them to the side, and he has he noticed it has it warmed back up a little bit. It's not as cool.
It's still chilly in the air.
He takes a note of that and he goes, "Look, I think first things first." In his head, cold shower first. Need to go talk about the weather later. And goes for a cold shower.
Okay. He goes for a cold shower. What is the rest of the Vanguard doing?
Well, let's see. It's still. This is very early morning by the looks of things.
Some time has passed, but yes, it is still morning.
Is that
It's pre-noon?
Is that arrow a custom item?
No. You look for arrow of slaying, and then and then you add just a custom marker that it's for beasts.
Okay, thank you.
I do believe they do 3d10 extra damage to a target of the corresponding.
It says 6d10.
What?
Oh, damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, damage 6d10.
And you got 3 of them. Okay.
Well, we'll take that.
Slay.
I hope you didn't put all those extra damages on the normal arrows.
No, you are correct. That is very true. Yes, it is 6d10, but they can save to only take half.
Yes.
That's
there is a DC save.
What's the does the arrow have its own DC, or is it based on the?
Yes,
arrow?
it has a static DC.
Oh, what's the DC on them?
17.
17.
Constitution.
That's pretty all right.
Yeah, and it still is. It like with a save, it's still like the equivalent of 3d10 damage on top of your normal.
Still a lot.
That's a lot of damage.
That's real good.
That's a lot of damage.
How many?
That's a lot of damage.
They do become mundane arrows after they hit the specified target.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're not reusable.
That on top of my 1d8 plus 10 arrow bow, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can also use it along with like ranger spells or special features.
I can buff it up to the max.
Shit.
Nice.
So if Jalira turns into a wild boar, we got it done to rights,
Well, we've got Cuddly that can turn things into a Nana.
Yeah, but you're not
can turn things
shooting
into-
Nana.
No, Nana can turn things into.
Polymorph
I'll
someone.
polymorph her into
But
a
I
wild
think they
boar.
have to be willing, but I'm not positive.
But
about
also,
that. I think they'd have to
polymorph
make
would
a
just
statement.
give them like a layer of hit points.
That would, yes, correct.
Yeah, but if you make them a really tiny, because hit
Well,
points
that's true
still
because it
carry
carries
over.
Yeah, you're
So
Mm.
make her
right.
something with like a cat that only has 2 hit points.
Would you
who dies
still love Jalira
heroic.
if she was a worm?
Wait, can Arthur shoot a cat? That feels a little.
No.
That's a
Three-toed
little
sloth.
sketchy.
I said worm. I
Make-
don't
It has to be a
know.
Make it
beast,
a
Cuddly.
sloth.
Can't be
Can't
a
go
bug.
anywhere.
Hmm.
Mm.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Rudy would be looking. I mean, it depends. Like, what sort of time are we talking? Like, are we taking like the rest of the day to do stuff, or are we going to? Are we
this
heading
is
out?
me,
Like,
the
what are
DM,
we-
asking what the
Yeah.
what.
Honestly,
I
I
think do
think
what you
we
wanna do, and yeah.
should talk about Gerald's spells, the waiting and preparation of what we want to get for going underneath, and when do we want to go underneath.
Well, I thought we. Well, don't we have a few things to take care of before we get to that?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
quite a
Yeah.
few things.
but
Mm.
I know, but it would be good to be outlining what things we got, like like set up a time frame as
Right.
to.
Well, we've kind of alluded that over the last few sessions is that we need to take care of Wormsbane because
Yes.
that's actually affecting
Not want him
Rudy,
showing up. Yeah.
and that will happen in
one's
10
coming whether we
days.
want it or not. In
Yeah.
10 days. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have to take care of that. Gerald wants to go to the plane of water, but we have no way of doing that safely as of this point.
We
Yeah.
do have a way of getting there, just not existing there.
That's why I said
You didn't want to
safely.
be a fish.
That's why I said
don't even
safely.
wanna talk about it anymore. Yep. Don't even
Um,
make me repeat myself.
I'd like to be if you can make me a fish that can cast spells, then absolutely.
No, only I can be a fish that can cast spells. Actually,
Well-
I'm sorry. You can get that.
Just make me like one of those fish with like
Uh.
huge beefy arms on the sides.
A handfish.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to sort out what we're going to take care of now. And I feel and Rudy would be getting very anxious, going, right, we've spent a few days kind of, talking and doing things. We kind of need to, we don't have a lot of time. We should be pushing
Nana
forward,
has some things to do while Arthur may have been in the shooting range, if that
I mean,
helps. If you guys have been.
I can give you my list of things that I need to get done before.
Perfect.
Well, that Gerald needs to get done before he's confident enough to go on a next big fighty quest.
Wait,
right?
so you're saying Gerald doesn't want to leave Evanspire yet?
I'm requesting, if possible, if there's enough time to, a little bit of a time skip while he does shit.
Well, he does shit.
Because I've got,
Nana has things to do today.
I got 48 hours of book that needs reading. I've got a couple of 10-hour transcriptions that need doing. A couple of 1-hour transcriptions that.
So
need
you got
doing.
studies coming out of your
And
You got like
I've got to pick up that teleportation necklace thing.
Joker. Did you do that? That would have happened last night after the circus.
Yeah, it wasn't clarified whether I actually was able to pick it up or not. But
it is in my notes. I just forgot to mention it.
right. So what we're saying is that's 3 days worth of.
I have added the estimated resurrection of Wormsbane into the Foundry calendar.
Yay! Wait.
On the 12th.
Okay.
Or no, that's the moon phase.
No, it should have a. If you click on it, it should have a little 1.
Oh no.
No, because I see the little.
We see the
like,
moon
thing that
phases.
says
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay,
That-
then
I don't think it actually added.
Maybe we
I'm the
refresh.
one.
Maybe we refresh.
Hold on. No, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
I think it's a.
I already refreshed. I'm sorry.
Boom.
There it
there
is.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
So it is on the 12th.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
But that's
Yeah.
that's for Wormsbane.
That's 10 days.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is when he is fully rejuvenated
Right.
and has his body back.
Yeah, that's Wormsbane, but
So-
it's still we want to make sure the sooner
we need
we
to get there.
and the sooner we get it all done is the sooner we then assault Jalira, which is
Yes.
Yeah.
but
So
there's
Worms
still
Bane's-
like
yeah.
major things that we need to do before that
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So, considering that Rudy wanted to go and deal with Wormsbane, and we know where that cave is.
Yeah, well, I think that's
Mm.
next on the docket.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
because it's got a time frame on it, whereas that's a hard and set. Basically, Gerald, I believe his like kind of view on things would be that that is a terrible thing that is going to come for us regardless of what we're doing. So we need to just do our preparations, deal with that inevitability, and then we can deal with whatever else afterwards.
Yeah.
So, for preparations, Nana would like to talk to the awful fungus.
Oh, you're talking to the awful fungus.
I want to talk to the awful fungus.
Um,
Yeah, I put on my spell, and I would like to speak to the fungus's character. I would like to. I would love to, in fact. I would love to speak with plants, even though, yeah, we get it. It's a fungus. We understand it. I get it. Talk
In D&D
to
world,
Wizards of the Coast, okay? Not me.
so that is something Nana wants to do today.
I would
Is
love
anyone
to.
else doing anything this day
Yes.
in the game?
All right. So if we're going to take the 3 days that Gerald needs,
no longer than that.
Well, how long does it take us to travel to where we've got to go?
It's 48 hours solid of reading that needs to be done, first of all. So that's going to take realistically like 3 days, if that's all I'm doing. Right.
Well, you already did work some hours off.
Yeah, I think you said
4 hours.
Managed to get two or 4, is it? Yeah, something like that.
4.
Yes, 4 hours down. So there's 44 hours remaining of
Mm.
reading. And then there's 2 transcriptions. Each of them is going to take 10 hours. And then another 2, and each one's 1 hour, so that's pretty negligible.
these 10-hour inscriptions, are they like, what are
Those
they?
are getting 5th level spells as rituals. And at least one of them is incredibly important, I think, for us, which is telepathic bond.
Right.
And the other one is very useful for what we're going to be doing, which is contact other plane.
Okay. All right. So shall we do the rolls to see how long the reading will take then, so we have a time frame, maybe?
I mean,
there's no rolls. It's a set amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's 48 hours of studying total.
Okay.
That needs to be done in less than 6 days.
Right.
If that's the case, then Nana would also maybe like to pull Rudy aside and try to scry on someone from the village in his wishing.
Yeah, there was a few things Rudy was thinking he could do to sort that out as well.
I did put scry on, and I know we have that mirror that apparently you can just reuse.
You can
so I actually
use
put the scry on the mirror, yeah.
You can use the telescope. I fixed it.
Oh, nice. I mean, I can also just, if we're going to stay here today, I can just use my spell slot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Is there anything Arthur needs to do? So, like, okay, so then what I'm trying to ask is, like, how long is it going to take? Because Rudy would be going, right, as soon as Gerald's ready, that's when we have to go, because now we're chewing time.
If Gerald is allowed to just hit the books, he needs just under 7 days to do all of his things.
And I'm wondering if we could run and grab the village while he's doing his books.
I'm kind of thinking that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that might be what we have to do.
Because you only have to be there, right?
Yeah.
And I just have to get you there.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think, because
That's what I was
otherwise we're
wondering.
going to run out of time for Jalira as well. Like, as in, she's going to be too prepped. So
Well, we got months for Jalira technically, but
do we? I thought we had like 1 month.
Well, we have like 4 months, but also, do we have 4 months? Because she could be anywhere.
Yeah.
It is estimated just over 4 months until her army will invade.
Yeah,
the
we're
city.
not waiting that long, I don't think. That's
No. I think we've decided
But
to
Gerald's books require, I've done the math, 68 hours of reading. Like total, and then with sleep and such added, he needs somewhere between 6 and 7 days to get it all done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think he should focus on that because that's
absolutely.
really important as well.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because it's 44 just for the tome, and then it's
24.
Yeah,
20,
but I feel like the village
You
might not
put the
actually
math in. You put the
Oh, did
math in. Yeah, you put the math in. So it's
Oh,
44
it's 2
plus
hours
20.
per level. Yeah. Sorry. No, you're right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
All right. So
Yes.
so we'll have Gerald taking care of all that because that's prep that needs to be done. Then, is Arthur got anything that he wants to be doing, independently?
He's ordering some fashion accessories.
Yes.
Well, Arthur
Yeah.
hasn't exactly approached the group to get them yet.
Fashion
so
salts.
absolutely.
I think it's assuming that like
Anything
Arthur's just
for
been
our
taking care
boy.
of it. Yeah. If
The braces
it
of
means
archery
you
aren't-
can
aren't,
do
like,
more
that
pew
expensive, are
pew,
they?
you can do it.
Actually, I've done the full math. If Gerald is allowed to put every waking minute into studying, it will take him 4.5 days.
Nice. And he should be allowed.
I feel
yeah.
like he should be allowed
That'll
to
be
do
good.
that.
Yeah.
4.5
of us can
hours
just-
of no lifing the books.
4.5
4.5
days.
days
Yes.
of no
Mm.
no
Did I
no
say
liking the
hours?
books.
Yeah, no.
4.5 days of no life in the book, so just college then.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
feel like we
Great.
would approach the conversation going, right, Gerald, what if I said that I could keep Arthur away from you for as long as you need to get this shit done?
I would say that you'll have your work cut out for you, Rudy.
But how soon could you get it all done?
4 or 5 days? I'm not sure.
Right, done. Lock yourself in your room. I'll take care of Arthur.
Right. Perfect.
So Gerald is busy until the morning of the 8th.
Perfect. That gives us plenty of time.
Does give us
baby.
plenty of time. All right.
So-
Rudy, no, I want to shop for these braces of archery.
Yeah, okay. So we have discussed this out of game.
Yeah.
You can indeed shop for them. They will take some time.
Yes.
Yes, but you can indeed get them. Exactly. It would take about a week for them to be made and shipped, unless you want to pay extra.
Yeah. So that's when Arthur sort of comes along and goes, I would like these as soon as possible. I
Right.
don't know how much gold we have.
What's the cost,
I
Arthur?
mean, what
Well, just for the braces and everything's 1,000 gold pieces. That's just as a norm, and I can't cover that because I don't have that sort of money either.
Arthur, we just got a bunch of platinum from the headmaster.
Yeah, isn't that in the group's fund?
Right, you have your 1,000 gold, Arthur.
And then I
Done.
don't know how much it would cost to express makes ship to get it here sooner.
Why don't you ask and we'll make sure you get it?
What did Arthur spend all his gold on?
No, Arthur has.
Rudy-
Because I didn't.
Rudy just deducted 1,000 gold. You have the
Like, don't you have
braces.
3,000 gold with the platinum?
Yeah, you
Sorry,
got, like-
basically?
don't
like
worry.
thousands, man.
I was looking at the platinum.
You mean I can
I
take
was
my
like, we
1,000 gold back?
definitely
Can I,
have,
can
like,
I take...
I'm happy to give you,
Yeah.
but I
Yes,
know we
I
all
have
more than-
1,000 gold.
The 10 gold per platinum?
Yes,
thing?
yeah, that was my
Yeah,
So,
you've got thousands. You're fine, bud.
Yeah.
You're fine.
yeah.
You're good. You're good.
So
You
I
don't
did
even
make
have to
1,000.
ask us.
If
The answer is yes.
They will take 6 days to arrive,
Nice.
unless you pay extra.
How
Pay
much
extra.
extra do I have to pay to get him here?
Expedite that
Say
shipping.
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days would be double the price.
Done.
Nana will pay that
Nana
Yeah,
will go
Nana-
halvesies.
Nana will
we'll
go
go
halvesies.
halvesies.
to get him here in
So,
2 to 3 days.
Nana and I
So
will
what is
deduct
it?
Okay,
500.
they will
gold?
they will get here. They will get here in half the time then, so 3 days.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
I'll just
All right.
I'll just get rid of 100 platinum, right? Because that's easier.
That's
Then
That's
1,000
the
gold.
1,000. We want
Yeah.
half,
That's
so it's
1,000,
500.
yes.
You want
no, but it's 2,000 gold altogether. 'Cause
No,
it's
I've
another
Arthur's
paid
doing the
1,000.
yeah.
yeah, and it's another 1,000 to get him here.
And
Yes,
in
and
2
you're
to 3
splitting
days.
that with
Rudy's
Rudy.
paying half of that.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yes.
I see. I didn't realize Rudy was going halvesies with me. I thought Nana was going halvesies
No,
with
no, no,
Arthur.
no, no, no.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, if anyone did
Done.
approach Gerald about it,
Done.
he'd happily.
No, Gerald's reading his book.
Gerald is locked in his office.
We locked him in there, and we went.
We put a chair up against the door.
The door to like use the toilet that's fucking locked. It's like,
Don't worry, I left a chamber pot in there. He'll be fine.
oh god.
Arthur shot for them, and he's gonna go. Well, look, I'm gonna just sit here and read through the people who are applying to be next guildmaster.
Right, but make yourself available if Nana and I are going to go out, because I gotta go. I'm gonna go find this village.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll be in my office. You know where that is.
Rudy, about that, I might be able to help. I just need your memory from the wishing, if you will, and vision, if you won't. But
what
that's a bit
if
boring.
we also used the wishing ring, not as a wish, but as a tool, like an assistance to the scrying spell? Considering the memory came from the ring, would that assist the scry at all?
I can certainly try. I don't think it would harm the ring. Josie, can I make a roll?
Yeah,
to
would
see
we
if it
know
would
if that's going to harm the ring?
If this is going to use a wish that I'd rather not.
Just don't put it on your finger.
No.
I'm just gonna like hold it and see if I can channel and not say the words I wish. Yeah. I don't think it'll really help that much, but
I'm just trying to gain us like a little extra
anything really.
benefit. That's
The
all.
thing is, if you're using the telescope, it will not help.
I was gonna use the mirror actually, the mirror that we got from the headmaster.
You're
and just
using your own spell.
My own spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
And you know what? Can
I will say
Yes,
it won't count. You don't have a possession or garment of anyone there, but you do acquire through Rudy a likeness. So there is a modifier.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's fine. We'll take that.
But they also have
Yeah.
but they also have a bonus because you've never met them yourself. So they do have a +3 to the save.
Right.
If Rudy's just describing one of the generic people of this village.
I was thinking the hostage.
No.
Hostage
Hostage
died.
dead. Hostage dead. No. We can't do that. Hostage died. Martin took him
I can't
outside the
scry on a
village
dead
and
person?
died. Yeah.
Yeah, when Martin, you cannot scry on a dead person.
I'm Nana Melivora.
We would just see
I'm
bones in the earth.
Hold
What?
on.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
You don't.
You can scry on a creature or a location.
That was more what Rudy was going to focus on, is the location itself,
Okay.
not the people
Yeah.
within.
Tell me that then,
Yeah.
because I do have a way with trees, and that's what I need to see anyway. So
Let's see. Question is, you can choose a location you have.
I haven't.
No,
been
if it's a
there.
location, you must have seen it yourself.
That's okay. A person it is. A person it is. Pick
Can
one of the
I
people.
influence it with a divine intervention, considering this is something Urgathoa herself wants Rudy to do?
You know what? Yes, I will say roll
Ooh.
divine intervention.
Oh, I was hoping for you to say with advantage afterwards. Damn. Okay, no, that's fine.
Let me see if I have anything
Roll
to
for
boost
divine
myself.
intervention.
Okay, that is fine and dandy. All right, let's roll. Let's see what we do. I can't see it because I like to see it in the other tracker.
No.
No,
Padding.
not at
But,
all.
like,
No.
Out of 100, it's really good though.
If it was the opposite end of the spectrum, as we've discussed,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
we nailed it. But
Okay.
no.
No,
that
a
was-
Well, we've got a
93.
couple days to do this anyway, so I can always
Nah,
try.
she's
That is true. You
Yeah.
can re-roll
try.
every day
Mm.
until you succeed.
she's still
I can do it
angry that he actually
twice
spoke about it.
today.
Yeah.
Well,
I
can I
can't roll.
scry on the same person on the same day if they succeed?
You
Oh,
can, you
okay.
can keep trying.
Yay!
As
Okay.
long as you have like the spell slots.
Well, I have 2, so I'm happy.
Give
to
it 2
try.
shots. Give it 2 shots.
I'll give it 2 shots.
Yep.
So
No,
I'm-
it does say it does specifically say if they make the save, you can't target the same creature for 24 hours.
Okay, that's
Never
what I was
mind.
thinking. That's okay. I have it. I have someone to.
Someone else could use the telescope, though, right?
Is that locked in your room though?
Yeah, Rudy could use it. Rudy could actually use it. So I'll try with the
You could
scry.
double wumble combo.
Yeah, I'll try with the scry, and they need to get a wisdom save of 19.
Yes. However, it is they do have a +3 to this save.
And I probably have disadvantage, yeah. So they have advantage, I think. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
I'm doing the appropriate modification.
We always trust.
I
always
trust.
I rolled a natural 19, so
nice.
No.
Well done.
Okay, that's okay. Could I use my second scry on River?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna roll for River.
Oh shit, yeah, like I guess I could roll for River, but no. I don't know if wisdom's really her strong suit.
No, but you have a very strong connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's getting away from me.
However,
oh
no, not strong enough.
No, you scry, you look in the mirror, you focus on River. You focus on River, and it takes a moment, but the mirror stops reflecting you. The imagery in the mirror changes to familiar streets as you see white slate cobblestones. As you follow River, she seems to be walking along the Golden Bazaar of the Ivory Hold.
Oh, okay.
And as you're looking at her, she's wearing this really like heavy looking backpack. She's got a bunch of stuff attached to it. She's wearing traveler's clothes. She looks a little bit taller than when Nana saw her last. And her ears have grown a little pointier, and almost like a second point is coming in the middle of the back of the ear. Her eyes, her pupils are like slightly slitted, and she looks bulkier and, well, more of a dark, vibrant green. Like her skin reflects color differently than it used to.
Okay. And you said she's in the Golden
She's just
Bazaar.
walking.
Okay.
She has she looks at some of the stalls that she passed by, but she doesn't stop. And eventually she reaches the exit gates of the city, and she gets on one of the ferries off that goes across the lake of the Caldera, and you lose her while she's on the ferry. The scry ends.
Okay. And is she going? Would you say
she's going in a western direction?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like she's heading away from the Eastern Lush.
Okay, that's what I figured. That's fantastic. Nana is going to.
Are you gonna scry into Lyra?
I absolutely could, but because I now know where River is, Nana's gonna actually scribble a little note that basically just like catches River up on like where they might be going. You know, like, hey, if we're not in, it looks like you might be on your way. And she's not going to leave like any specific locations in there just in case it gets intercepted. But she will say like, just in, in case you wonder, go find like this person. And she just like says a name instead of like a place. And she thinks River will probably get it since River has sort of heard some of these names before, probably in the guild, probably through Rudy and stuff. Just catches them up on kind of what has been going on, says she loves her. We will summon, we're going to conjure what will I conjure? I'm going to conjure an eagle.
Okay.
I'm
conjure
going to
an eagle.
Yes, it will. Hold on. Just realized this isn't going to work because I was totally going to put the message in its beak and send it through Tree Stride, but I don't think it can go that far away from me.
I do believe that there is there could be a spell called Animal Messenger. We can look into it. However, you are sending a message to River.
I'd love to somehow. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll figure it out, but I'll just mark off some spell slots because it's as if I did. So
Yes.
I will just cool.
So after all this scrolling shenanigans,
Yeah.
Rudy would sort of go, right, while we're on the topic of locating this village, Nana, there's a favor, you could help me out with this, because I'm not exactly welcome at the chapel at the moment, for a
I can't
myriad of
imagine
reasons.
why, Rudy.
No, me neither, really, honestly. It's kind of a philosophical difference, probably.
I think it's a breakfast roll difference, to be quite honest with you.
They are good rolls. There's one thing I do miss. These are good rolls. But, no. See, the metal in this village, I believe it might be, considering it is possibly anti-unlife, it could be connected to Seren Ray. So I was wondering if maybe you could head to the chapel in my stead and maybe ask around, see if anyone has any books, knowledge, or anything like that.
Rudy, you don't suppose that the sword I gave to the chapel was made of this metal, do you? The one that you really hated and you begged for me to get rid of, and I finally did, and then I gave it back to them, and now you're saying that we need metal, and now I'm like, well, Rudy!
See, the question would be then, why wasn't I informed that it was the correct metal in the first place?
All right, you know what? I'll ask.
But I'm going to head to the College Arcana and see if their library has any information on it.
Can you look up the plate of water while you're there if I'm running
I will
this?
locate
Oh,
any...
please.
Yes.
I just need to know what kind of fish, Rudy. And she runs off.
Well, clearly, a hand
so
fish,
I'm gonna-
a fish with arms. That's what
Hand
Gerald
fish.
needs. As it already walks up towards the college.
I'm gonna ask Rudy to make an investigation check, and I'm gonna ask Nana to make
Oh, no.
a persuasion check.
I thought it was going to be a persuasion, which is so unfortunate because I only have a +1.
I'm going to roll the investigation and the knowledge from a past life to help with sleuthing.
Okay.
It is only a 13.
It's okay. We might have to try this again tomorrow because...
we have both failed.
7.
13. Did you get a 7 total?
7 total.
There is some mentioning that Carl, the receptionist, says, unfortunately, a lot of those books were in the headmaster's private collection.
Oh, you're kidding.
I will see if I can scrounge up something, but we are still working on repairs after what went down, trying to allow the students to resume studies as quickly as possible.
If I was to help with the repairs, would that might, speed up the searching, possibly?
But of course, all help.
Absolutely. Rudy runs off straight away, comes back about 20 minutes later with pulling Arthur by the arm. Right. Arthur is the biggest, strongest lad I can find. He can absolutely help with the repairs that he helped cause to this account.
I was actually also going to ask you, Rudy, if you wouldn't mind. Well, and like this little halfling man does a little finger wiggle towards you. Like, come down. If you wouldn't mind holding a class on how to deal with gestures towards you.
Defense against the dark arts?
No, not really. We do not. The dark arts is an old timey term. We don't use that anymore. No magic is inherently evil.
Exactly. Look at me. Do I look evil to you, Arthur?
You are not only someone who can channel this divine magic, but you yourself seem to be on, more of the undead side. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind holding a class or two for the more senior students on what kind of spells would be effective.
I don't see the harm in that.
The abbey sure has their own. They have the clergy there with their own, but here people study a different type of magic.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you might be able to give pointers and answer some questions.
Well, their efforts would be focused more on protection, whereas my methods might be more on the destruction of of undead.
Yes, I do believe we have someone who actually uses a combination of arcane and divine magic, so they might be very interested.
Right. So we'll put Arthur to work doing the physical rebuilding. I'll teach a few classes, and then maybe we'll find a little bit of information regarding that topic I was looking for.
Wonderful, yes. And Carl looks over. Arthur, do not worry. I put one of your flyers on our billboard. So if anyone is looking at joining the guild or want to take up leadership, we have some people coming here as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. So where should I start?
Over here, and gestures towards like a pile of books, and I say pile, but it's a mound, it's a hill. We have to sift through these and see which ones can be repaired and which ones are beyond help.
Thanks for your help, Arthur. And Rudy's walking off towards the.
Scale it halfway and set up.
Got done dirty.
Arthur just pulls up a chair and starts shifting.
Arthur suffers.
You're not doing it alone. There's like a dozen students. Some of the faculty are helping. You do see some people are using like mending cantrips and other things to just like fix bookshelves. There's prestidigitation going on as people are like clearing the floors.
Yeah.
It looks like big, like a big project to get this college back into working.
So
many
Arthur's
servants.
the way that Arthur's sort of sorting it out is if it's just a little bit burnt, he just puts it on one side. Unless it looks like perfect, he puts it on the other side. He's just like, nah, that looks bad. That one looks bad. He doesn't know anything about what can be saved in books. So
After watching Arthur for a second, Rudy's like, nope. And it sits down next to him. And like when Arthur puts it in the pile of can't be saved, Rudy picks it up and casts mending. And then puts it on the other side.
You do realize quite quickly that you can amend the cover and the pages, but no writing returns.
Right.
Ah, darn. Yeah.
Okay. Figuring that
There's
out.
also there's also one situation, maybe like the next day, when you're sitting there sifting, you're starting to finally put books back into the shelves. Gerald comes down and just like slots a book into a random shelf and grabs another.
Gerald, that's not where that one goes.
Arthur, leave him alone. He's doing important work.
He like barely looks up and registers your presence and is like back down reading. There's actually a hovering mug of tea or some sort of hot beverage floating along next to him.
There's one moment though when Gerald almost trips over a step on the stairs, but manages to recover. Like he's done this a lot while reading.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
So with
He
that,
has
it's
turned
gonna.
servant, just by the way.
He has. With that scrying, with Arthur and Rudy both working the day. Nana, you wanted to talk to the mycelium.
I did, and I also need to talk to the people at the Abbey, but that like I'll do it in whatever order.
Okay, what did you get for that persuasion check?
I only got a 13, but I was like,
13.
well, I gave them a sword, so what if they really like it?
Hilda Longhorn, after describing your inquiry, Hilda Longhorn says she thinks they may have something. She's going to go into their like storage, see if she can find it, and confirm whether it is what you're looking for or not.
Okay.
Cool.
So you don't get a deadline, but she says she's gonna look into it.
She's gonna look, yeah, and she wouldn't she would just be like, hey, we think this might help. Do you have any? We think it, might be of your god. Yeah. So yeah, just really straightforward.
She very honestly says she doesn't know if she can just give it away, but she'll look into if they have any.
Because even for them to have it might be very helpful just for like defensive purposes. So Nana's quite happy with that. She's just like, we could even see it and look at it a little bit to know what we're looking for. Yeah, cool. I really want to talk to this mycelium. Oh, let me at him. I won't shake the jar. I do not shake the jar. That's not what I do.
Unless
It's
it
just
needs
this-
threatening.
It almost looks like a very fine little, almost like a bundle of silk in this little jar that you have.
I kind of imagine that it's like a very, very light mint green, and I don't know if that's right or not, but that's just in my brain right now.
No, it's actually almost ghostly pale and translucent. Like it almost looks like a little cluster of very fine silk or glass noodles that's just slightly moving, like touching the inside of this jar.
Okay. Okay, well, you know what? Nana's gonna also make a hot beverage, probably tea, maybe with something in it, who knows. And she is going to sit down at the desk in her room and put the jar in front of her and kind of lean, like eye level with the jar, and lean on the desk and just be like, all right. And cast Speak with Plants. And
Speak with Plants.
And she will say, I can't believe I didn't think of this before, but hello, my name is Melivora, and I believe you knew Marvin. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh,
There's
I'm
no
very...
shift to the movements. Like it doesn't shift, but you're convinced that you can hear this voice emanating.
I am very sorry to say that Marvin has passed away. He did fall in with a rough crowd, and it was actually my group that ended him. I'm sorry for your loss.
Marvin was nice.
Now that we know Marvin's story, it does seem he was very misunderstood. May I ask what it is
I
that
am hungry.
What do you usually eat?
Dead things.
This
Rudy!
makes sense.
Rudy gets a little shiver down his spine.
Oh. I'm sorry that I haven't fed you in a while. I could put something in the bottle that I find if you would like. Mulch. I have mulch. I do have some mulch. But I suppose I wanted to ask. I think we'll be visiting the cave that you came from.
Going home.
Would you like to go home?
Okay.
All right. How about I get you some mulch, and I need you to do one thing for me, please. I need you to stay in the bottle so we can get you safely home.
Okay.
Can you insight mycelium?
I kind of want to insight a mycelium, not gonna lie.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. Just
Okay.
get a nat 20.
Do we
Find out it's
think-
lying through its
Oh my God,
non-existent
I literally
teeth.
got a 2, but it's a 13. So, do we think 13 is a mycelium?
Can mycelium lie?
I will say you get the sense that this mycelium doesn't really have an agenda. It doesn't have it doesn't really have a sense of time in that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Just fishing
You know what? In that case, like, Nana's got produce flame. She is gonna lock the door.
Uh-oh. No, here we go.
She's gonna lock the door. She just in case. She won't lock the door just in case. She will very, very carefully because I actually still have some of that purple worm dung in my bag.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do.
That's the
I
good
do.
stuff.
That's the good
that's
stuff.
nutritious as
I'm
heck.
so happy I kept this.
That's the good
So
shit.
she is gonna scoop a tiny, like enough that she thinks it'll fit. I don't know how big this jar is. I'm imagining that big. And she will ever so carefully, like without touching any of the fungus, sort of drop it in there and stopper it again. Do I need to roll something for that? Oh God.
No, you hear yum yum.
You seem very lovely. Did you leave because you wanted to leave? To go on an adventure?
No.
Ah. Did you not want to be part of... Well, I believe we got you from a bear. Did you want to be part of the bear?
I don't know.
That's
I was
fair.
put in the bear.
Ah. What do you prefer? Do you prefer being part of your family at home? Or do
I'm
you...
lonely.
I'm so sorry I've kept you. Look, we should be going in the next week. If you can hang on, I'll return you home, all right?
Okay.
Why am I gonna cry for a fungus?
A deadly zombie
Evil, but it's
fungus.
actually really cute. Okay, yeah. And Nana will just, put as much mulch as she can in there, and just let it be.
Yeah. Let it be.
This is literally
Well,
the
Don't
cutest
like
fungus.
putting it that way though. Let it feast.
Let it feast.
I will
Oh.
say, with that, everyone is pretty much busy for the rest of the day. So we're gonna jump forward. I will say, Nana, the next day, you do see that there's more mycelium inside the little jar.
She will take note of that, and also, has it eaten all of the mulch? Or is it still working on it? Okay.
It just looks like
yeah.
the amount of little strands have increased, and some of them are like pushing up against the glass.
Against the glass. Okay. Well, she is going to leave it so it can sort of also see the sun. But she will also, like, whenever she does put it in her bag, sort of wrap it in a cloth as well. Just now that she's like, you speak. I must be gentle. Yeah, that'll be good.
I would like another investigation check from Rudy, this time with advantage.
Woo!
Woo!
Balls. We got a 13. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to add the +6, sorry.
Yeah. This is also a fresh new day if anyone wants to do anything particular.
17.
17. You managed to find not like a full volume on the material plane of water, but you find theories.
Okay.
In a book that has theories about creating pocket dimensions, like higher level magicians of the past that created spaces that were bigger on the inside. It says there's theories of other planes existing. There's mentioning of natural gateways, and there's references to other literature as well. It might take some time if you want to try to find whatever it's referencing. But there it says that it is a plane predominantly under the surface. There's theories that another plane, like if you were to go to the plane of water and you swam towards the surface, that you would enter a different plane.
Right. And he doesn't find anything about like this village that he's looking for, or the metal, or anything like that. Because that was kind of the primary thing he was looking for. But
okay,
yeah,
I will say you do find dimensions. of this metal eventually. And in a reference guide, it's like an old mining and enchanting reference guide. There's mentioning of Dawn Steel.
Okay.
And you find you do find that there apparently there was an old mine far to the northeast.
Right. Okay.
But then it says in an area now called the Misty Islands.
Right. So that's not because their village is far to the west, so it's a different place.
Exactly.
In the smithing guide, because it was like you said it was like a mining and smithing sort
Yeah,
of.
it's like it's a book that's called like the enhancement properties of various metals and alloys.
Does the reference in there? I know this is like reaching, but does it reference, is this metal workable? Is there like history of it being workable into? He's looking for arrowheads. Is there any evidence of it being worked into arrowheads, or is it just like?
It would describe it as a very malleable metal. Then that when mixed with iron becomes a very durable.
Right. Cool.
Like alloy, essentially.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Nana, you do get the next day a visit from what looks like a young child who's a messenger who says that the abbess would like to speak with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nana will absolutely go.
The abbess says that she has found an old chalice that seems to be made out of the metal you asked for.
Oh.
It is something that they used, that has been used in some form of baptism-like ceremonies in the past. And she says she's very hesitant to let go of it. And she seems more curious what you wanted it for.
Yeah. Honestly, Nana just kind of wanted to know if they had any. But Nana will explain, oh, well, we learned of some metal that may be anti-undead, and we were actually hoping it could help us in the battle against Lyra. Now, we don't necessarily want to take yours, but we're interested, and we wonder if maybe, well, I know this is a ceremonial thing, but perhaps you could also use it defensively if you have to. We are hoping to nip it in the bud, but desperate times.
You go into conversation about this. You explain, and she says, "Oh well, I do believe I could make an attempt if you have any way of. How about a little experiment?
Oh, I do love science.
I could make some. I could take some of our stock of holy water, and then I could make some with this chalice, and we could see if there's a difference in potency, perhaps. If you have any way of testing it out, I don't really have those capabilities.
I probably know some people.
Before Nana starts chucking holy water at Rudy just to see what happens.
I mean,
it may take a few days, but I could make a batch, and we could see. And if it does turn out to be more effective, then that would definitely give us an edge if worst comes to worst.
I would love to test it out for you. And in the meantime, has she brought the chalice to look at and stuff?
Yes, she's showing it to you.
Yeah, cool. And Nana would want to look and just see it, but just not really touch it too much. Druid's metal, not really into that. Yeah, I would love to test it out for you. We may be up against some undead earlier than we thought, so we'll be sure to report back with the results. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Arthur, the evening of the 3rd, after you returned from having helped out in the library, there was one sequence where you tried to strike up conversation with Gerald as he was coming down to look for more reference books. He paid you no mind.
Oh,
No.
that's nice, Arthur.
No.
But you do find on your desk when you come back that there is a near unanimous nomination for Claire to take over as the
Yes.
leader of the guild.
Oh.
Thought as such.
Nice.
There was one note that read, "Can we have Venarian back, please?" But you find that Venarian himself wrote, "No, I'm busy."
Arthur grabs that one.
There's
and
also
puts it
there's
up on
also
the
a
board.
couple there's also a couple of nominations for Arthur to
Aww.
stay. But there's also a lot of votes for Claire, actually.
Okay. Arthur would probably set up to interview Claire on the next coming days.
Okay. Is anyone doing anything else with this day?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, but Rudy, you don't breathe.
Same
Nana will
thing I'm
actually
doing
go up to you and
every
be,
day,
Rudy,
Jersey.
do you still breathe?
No. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't have to. It's kind of hard. I can consciously turn it off, is what I'm trying to say. It's like holding your breath, but like not needing to breathe again.
All right, I'll try it anyway. Arthur, are you busy?
Look at this, Nana. Look at all these for Claire.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that would be wonderful. And you know, Bjorn can be the mascot.
That would be fun.
Now, Arthur, are you doing anything before your interviews? How much time do you have?
How much time do you need?
Anywhere between 1 and 24 hours.
I set the interview up for a couple of days.
Worst case scenario, I can do the interview. It'll be fine, Arthur. Don't worry about it.
All right. No, I don't need you for that long. I just want to
let's go.
All right.
The quicker we do this, Nana, the quicker we figure out what's going on. What do you need?
Well, you know, we were talking about the plane of water, and Gerald didn't want to be a fish, but I did figure out that I think we can breathe underwater without being fish. And Rudy, you're just going to have to try it. Just consciously breathe, all right? Yeah, and she's going to lead them to the bridge, because I remember you said there was a bridge in Ebenspire.
Yeah, there's a river that goes through the city.
Yeah.
Nana, are you going to push us into the river?
No, we're going to the bank, Rudy. I'm not a monster. I'm a little bit of a monster. And I am going to try water breathing. Just one action. I just need a short reed or a piece of straw, and it should last for 24 hours. It doesn't say it's concentration. Just
How many creatures?
Up to 10 willing creatures.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell. I forgot I had
it. What?
So she just like goes, can you just like sit at the bottom of the river for like half an hour or something?
Rudy just walks into the river. Doesn't even
Remember
wait for you.
breathe.
Doesn't even wait for you to cast the spell. He just walks into the river.
I'll do it too.
Am I about to get wet?
Yes.
Arthur starts taking off clothing.
Oh my God, Arthur. All right.
I'm
Nana
keeping
will
on my
also cast it on
undergarments.
herself.
Okay.
And she just wants to see if she can also cast any spells while she's down there.
You get down into the water, all of you. There's a bunch of people looking on as you're like going down there.
We'll be fine.
Don't worry, I don't need to breathe.
And you all get the sensation like it feels thick in your throat and like inside your mouth, and your lungs feel when you're breathing air, you feel like your lungs have more capacity. Like you could like instead you're limited by how much your rib cage can expand. Like your lungs want to take up more place.
Okay.
And as you get into the water and you take a an inhale, you do feel like at first it's a bit like sickly and you try to fight against it, but you do inhale the water, and as it fills your lungs,
Ooh.
you feel fine.
Okay.
I'm drowning.
Nana will probably just cast like a cantrip, like Thorn Whip, just aimed at nobody, just at the bottom of the river, just to see if it works.
Yeah.
It would work?
Yeah, you speak the words and the effect happens. It's a bit
Awesome.
sluggish moving around in the water, but it still happens.
Arthur sees this and he pulls out, because he carries his bow everywhere.
Into the water.
He's going to attempt to attack a rock in the water with his bow.
Okay, you draw back and you release, and the arrow just goes like and starts floating up. Like it just makes it a couple of feet.
Arthur quickly swims after it.
We may need.
Like while you're underwater, it's just that your voices carry differently. Like they don't have the same direction. Yeah, they don't have the same directionality. It's like they're picked up by all the water and just echoing around inside the water.
We may need you to be more melee, Arthur, but I'm sure we can think of something.
Well, that's gonna be a problem because look.
You want to be a shark?
I mean, shark would be pretty cool.
Oh, easy.
Don't you have that? Don't you have that spear? Remember that the ice the sphere?
I haven't had that for yonks.
What are you talking about? You've had it. We got it from the bug people demons.
Oh, me? Oh, you? Okay, yeah.
I didn't have
Bug people demons?
Or was Gerald carrying?
Yeah, there was supposed.
Yeah,
there's supposed to be a lance.
A lance. That was it. Yeah.
That's it.
Lance. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant. It's been a while.
I can't use it, but yeah. Cool. All right, cool. That is all I wanted to do. I just wanted to see if spells would work underwater and if this would work.
Yes.
With the spells. Cool. And Nana will see that it works and get them out quicker than she thought.
And I'm just going to say a little bit nerdy that my interpretation of water breathing just makes your lungs a bit and your gullet a bit more foldy, so you have the surface area to take in the oxygen.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. And I actually mean that. So I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Thumbs up. You can't say it though.
Okay.
All right.
But no, you.
Thank you.
And you can all those who want, because this effect will last for 24 hours apparently.
True.
So if Arthur would want to, he can definitely practice what works underwater, and swimming and things.
I mean, Arthur's trying everything that he could underwater. He even pulled out the sunblade to try underwater.
I doubt it will catch on fire, but it might. You never know.
Would
you
just
pull out the
boil
sunblade,
the
and yeah, it's very light. Because it doesn't do fire damage. It's a blade of radiant.
Yeah.
So it seems almost unaffected. The sunblade particularly seems very easy to wield underwater.
Ooh, all right, that might make up.
I like
Maybe
it.
it's time for Arthur to go back to using his
Horde
breaker ability.
But later in the day, after Arthur has cleaned up and dried himself off, and it is getting a little bit colder.
The weather, it seems to be getting colder around here, guys. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
When he mentions it, do we notice it? Is it?
Yeah,
or is it just
we
him?
would know.
Yeah.
It's not
it would have
quite
over the last couple of days. It feels like it's getting not a lot, but the average temperature is definitely less.
Right. Call this paranoia, but and Rudy focuses his eyes a little bit, and he casts Eyes of the Grave.
Eyes of the Grave. Look around. See no undead creatures.
Except for the ghosts.
Ooh. Yeah, Nana will.
It was just paranoia. I was channeling Gerald for a moment.
Take that into account and have something to do about it tomorrow, actually. So
I
never
mean,
mind.
it is. Wait, are we
Get
towards
hacked, Nana.
Are we towards the end of spring or?
No, you're
spring, yeah.
very early spring actually.
It's. I don't think it would be alarmingly cold, would it?
No, but it's colder than it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Remember, you're talking to people living in Melbourne, Josie. I don't know if you know this, but
Yeah, but all of
I mean,
we have every season, every day.
It's currently 25 degrees, and I'm thinking it's a bit
Oh,
chill.
it's not 25 degrees in Evanspire right now. It's more along the lines of maybe a 13 degrees.
It's literally 13 degrees here right now.
I wonder.
Is Tura still living at the guild?
I was just thinking that
Because
Nana,
it might be time to pay them a visit.
Yeah, that might be. It might be an effect of having Tura
I feel like
around,
it's probably
possibly.
just the
Yeah.
residual ice.
She's there. Arthur, however, is busy. He's got a meeting planned. Claire is waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nana tries to dry Arthur. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I've got to go to a meeting interview. I mean, if you're not busy, you're welcome to come, but I do need to go.
Right.
The interview with Claire, she says she's very open to it. She's traveled a lot. She's been part of the guild to and fro, but she feels like her field days might be behind her. So she says that she's open to taking over, but maybe if it's more desk duty and she could appoint someone to be her like second hand.
Okay. All right. That's not a bad idea at all. Look, it is getting late today. Let's have a talk tomorrow about a second hand and who you would think would be okay for that. But yeah, this went really well. Let's have a bit of a sleep on it and talk tomorrow. Maybe over breakfast.
I feel like Nana would have been sitting, like not saying anything, but just sitting there just to be informed. Probably still sopping wet.
Okay. What is Rudy doing this day?
He would. He would have attempted the skysicle, the telescope. Is that in Gerald's room?
Yes.
So that would disturb Gerald if he's doing his stuff. All right, so we probably don't want to use that.
Gerald did say that it was free to use.
Ooh.
And he can always make a little silent space for himself with Private Sanctum.
Yeah.
Rudy,
and even if you like disturb him for 10 minutes, that's still like 10 minutes out of the whole day. Like it's not.
Rudy would
might be good for Gerald to remember to eat.
Yeah.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah. So Rudy would get Nana that morning to prepare a care package for Gerald, because he obviously hasn't been covered by the guild, and he would like take it over to the college. It will get to him half of what it was when Nana gave it to Rudy, but Nana probably knew this would happen and actually made double.
Gave more.
So
that's right.
it actually makes complete sense. Gerald gets just the right amount. And like as Rudy's like sort of goes in, it's like, what would Gerald be doing if Rudy just kind of like opened the door to his room?
Well, let's see, what's the time? 11. It'd probably be because it's just the study, right? So it's just he'd just be like sitting there, like elbow on the desk.
Yeah, looking at the time, you would also be at the very edge of finishing up the tome, like the big read.
Oh shit! Cool.
Nice. Let's go.
And sort of like, yeah, he's been going hard at it, so he's probably just like barely sub-exhaustion, and sort of just like elbow on the desk, head resting on the fist, and sort of just like reading, just exactly like that, Josie. Just like pouring through.
We've all been there.
There's like scrolls on the table. There's like like ink wells and all the stuff for scribing, and his books open. They're sort of like with a page drying. There's a feather duster that's sort of just hovering around the room, just like absently dusting shit. Yeah, that's basically what you would say, and and like a cold cup of tea.
Well, Rudy would sort of come into the room and sort of goes and sort of just look and pick up the cup of tea, notice that it's cold, drink it himself, and then replace it with the care package from Nana and a thermos of hot tea that Nana would have figured out.
Actually, a welcome distraction. How are things?
Oh, things are fine, and Arthur and I have been helping the College Arcana get its affairs in order and doing a bit of reading ourselves. We've solved your water breathing problem for the plane of water, by the way.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Not a fish, I hope?
No. Not a fish.
What do you have against fish?
Turns out Nana can just let us breathe water.
Oh,
fine.
fantastic.
And casting spells is fine. Nana tested that too. So don't worry too much about that. Don't worry about anything really that's going on. Arthur's about to give up leadership of the guild. Don't worry about that. That's not a problem.
Oh, no, that sounds like it's solving a problem, honestly.
No, between you and me, Gerald, he was doing a fine job. He just
he was.
got
Absolutely.
too bogged down. I looked over some of the paperwork he was doing. Would you believe that he was signing forms for the stationery? All he had to do was hire a secretary, and he wouldn't have had to do any of that work.
No, I believe that. That sounds
very
about
silly.
Right.
Very, very silly. Anyway, there's a meal.
Making good progress here.
Good. Excellent. Don't mind me. I'm just going to go peek on a few things using the telescope.
Yes, be my guest. Let me know if it breaks again.
I don't think it will. I'm looking at more of a... This should be safe. I'm not looking on in Jalira or anything like that.
Oh, what are you scrying on?
Oh, just trying to find the location of that, like, more info on that village that I need to find.
Oh, the one with the metal.
Yes, yeah. Turns out the chapel here has a little bit of it, but obviously not willing to give it up for any reason because there's they're stubborn, but that's fine.
Holy metal, I guess, is it?
Yes, I would assume so, but it's fine.
Nana would probably have kept you up to date about the science experiments as well. Yeah,
they're going to get some form. They're going to test out different holy waters and see if the holy water made in the chalice is more potent than the holy water made outside of the chalice. I don't know how they're going to test it. They're going to need undead and.
Well, I'm sure you could just go and help them with that.
Yeah, I just realized that.
We are literally about to fight an undead dragon, please.
I'm also just imagining that they have different kinds of holy water, like when you're doing the prick test for allergies.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah.
I was just imagining him throwing it in his face like a bad date.
So see, Nana would just make several cups of tea, one with regular water, one with the regular holy water, and one with the super
How are you feeling,
double blind
Rudy?
test.
On a scale of 1 to burning.
What are you trying on, Rudy?
Rudy would attempt another scry on the people within the village itself, and that. Would he again be able to use a divine intervention to assist, or is he, because he's using an implement?
Sure, roll for divine intervention.
Sweet, because you know what? It's fun to do this. And
yeah, maybe if he does it, Urgatha was actually going to do it. Maybe she just has something against Nana.
That's a divine intervention. Let's go.
You
used on Scribe.
You go to look into the telescope, and you're like, everything's murky, everything's dark. You're like, okay. You start looking over at Gerald, making sure he's not looking at what you're doing as you start moving the little dials and rotors, and
I have no idea what I'm doing.
And as you're looking, and you see it starts focusing in. Gerald's described what it looks like using this, but you're moving, and no matter what you do, everything just turns ever so slightly green, darker and darker green.
This is useless. This doesn't work at all.
You turn around to mention it to Gerald. When you find yourself standing in a village with log palisades.
What? How?
In the middle of a dark forest.
Hold on.
A soft mist rolling on the ground. You look around as you see a handful of people look in your direction. And you see these people covered up in rags and gauze. You see someone holding a basket of apples. Their eyes are different colors. One has almost like no eyelids, similar to yours. You see an incision has been made separating the jaw. And they just look at you as you find yourself within the village surrounding the Lazarus Forge. And that's where we're going to end today.
Oh shit, did you go there? Oh shit.
Whoops.
Fine. This is fine. This is preferable.
That was amazing because all that happened in the final ad break of the session. So if you aren't a sub, you unfortunately didn't see any of that. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Oh heck.
That's
oh
really
dear.
cool.
And also just
I would love it if you actually have been physically
I would love it if you actually went there. That was
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I was like, how are they seeing him if he's scrying? And then I was like, wait a second.
I feel like the first thing Rudy would have done would have been to pinch himself, but as he pinched himself, the like some sort of sinew would have come off, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm here." Oh dear. Also, just at the very end there, thanks so much for the raid. It's Fate Script. I'm sorry it's the end of the session, but thank you for raiding it.
We love you.
But holy crap.
Thank you for coming by. Yes.
A divine intervention roll took me right there.
That's awesome.
That was so
great.
much fun.
I love that.
Joe just looks up, he's gone, and he's like, oh, he must have left.
Oh, but Rudy's got sending now, so Rudy can just send a message.
That's true. You prepared sending.
If you don't come back, Nana's gonna be like,
I mean, you do still have word of recall as well.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Word of recall's prepped.
Yeah.
So Rudy can get back.
Yeah,
that's not an issue.
Fine then. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not even worried.
It'll just be a moment of oh gosh.
The person with the apples is
panic.
actually Jalira.
Just a little panic.
Mild panic.
But like because he was in Gerald's room, like he would not have been covered at all. So like he would have just been him, just that. So
yeah, and the people that did look at you weren't like aghast.
Yeah.
They were more like you're not someone they've seen
that.
before.
You read that before.
But yeah, thank you everyone. It's face. But yeah, we've done some progress. Some things have been done. Experiments have been had. You started working towards. You did book.
I feel like it was important to get the book process started. I feel like we were just tiptoeing around it for a while. I'm like just get started.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it.
The book needed to be booked.
Yeah.
You were booked for a couple of days there.
Do I have your permission to tick that off?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah!
You can.
I'm gonna activate that tome.
Ooh.
Activate
charisma, baby.
Activate.
Oh
the
shit!
tome. Let's go.
I also want you to consider how that affects Gerald now that his charisma is technically above mortal capabilities.
Whoa. What?
So because he's broken the threshold. He's upped his limit. So I want I want Road you to consider how that.
This is what Gerald. It means to go even further beyond.
Just like as an idea, since he's now reached higher levels, like how would that affect him?
It's interesting, particularly for this character, because I've always been playing Gerald's high charisma as more
his masking capabilities.
Yeah, his masking capabilities exactly, isn't just like a crutch to make him seem normal, rather than him actually being like really commandingly charismatic, you know?
Yeah, so would he tread into that territory now?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe now that he's transcended.
Doesn't even need that mask, huh?
Well, no. Now the mask is actually just like it's more like he's gonna act like a 12.
Yeah, I meant the Jaralthazar
Yeah.
mask. He doesn't need that.
Would he be so charismatic now that he's actually convinced himself that the mask, as in like the mask he shows other people, is him now? Would that be?
Ooh.
I mean, it could be one of those situations. As a neurospicy person, there are over time you can't some masking becomes like automatic.
Yes, definitely.
It becomes ingrained.
Yeah, the way I'm kind of like my initial thought on it, and I'll give it more thought over the course of the week.
Yeah.
But my initial thought on it is that he's been essentially masking at a charisma 10 level. And I feel like now he's going to be masking at a charisma 12 level. But if he puts the actual mask on, you're going to see that 22.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be a really cool interpretation.
Yeah.
We need to have another Geralthazar moment. There has to be. It has to come back, right? It can't
He
be
would be too powerful.
The time will come. The time will come.
The time will come. Yeah, but I hope you've all had a great time. We will be back again most likely next Sunday, but keep your eyes and ears to the ground for any updates in the Discords. I have been Josie Poser, the Dungeon Mistress, and these are my very wonderful friends. We have Roju from Participation Award, who's playing Gerald the Wizard. We got Cuddly Raptor playing Nana Melivora. Arthur Orblet is played by the Wettest Orb. And we have AussieDevFro playing Rudy Magic Hands McGee. Now, the same questions as every time. I was going to ask, Cuddly, where are we going? But I actually have a little bit. Someone I haven't been to in a long time just went live, and I would love it if we could go there.
Absolutely.
I'd love to go there.
Point us in the direction.
It is a very, very cute and wonderful person called Top Banana Art, who's currently working on some apparently along with another famous person we all know and love, Feline Trickster, and they're doing Baldur's Gate 3 art.
That actually looks amazing. I just saw what they were doing. That's so good.
So for those people not aware, Feline Trickster made a lot of art for me for this world and has done the starting lineup character art for our campaign 2, and Top Banana has actually taken over and is doing any art past this point. And there's actually some pieces that have already been finished that I haven't shown the group.
You what?
You what, man?
So we're gonna go and say